buscaba una así. Desde que te vi, buscaba una así y por fin te conseguí. Desde que te vi, yo me enloquecí. Buscaba una así y por fin te conseguí. Desde que te vi, yo me enloquecí. Buscaba una así y por fin te conseguí. Y ahora en mi corazón tú estás y ya no quiero a nadie más. Contigo bien quiero pasarla, mamacita, vámonos de fiesta. Y ahora en mi corazón tú estás y ya no quiero a nadie más. Contigo bien quiero pasarla, mamacita, vámonos de fiesta. Desde que te vi, buscaba una así. Desde que te vi, buscaba una así y por fin te conseguí.
Ya vi que estás aquí, tan cerquita de mí, y me hacía falta, porque la última vez que vine tú no estabas, baby. Oh, vamos a tomar toda la noche, mujer, te invito a bailar hasta el amanecer. Tú quieres jugar y no quieres perder, vamos a bailar, quiero verte mover lento, hasta que el dance solo junte nuestros cuerpos. Lento, yeah. Vamos a tomar toda la noche, mujer, te invito a bailar hasta el amanecer. Tú quieres jugar y no quieres perder, vamos a bailar, quiero verte mover.
Hello. Hi, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. All right. All right. So we got some stuff to do today. Matt Guy generously donated already to the stream. And Matt Guy chose to make my sister wear the make my sister wear the jester hat. So she is wearing the jester hat. Because we are as that one gentleman, I even want to use that word, said, they're multiplied. Yes, we are, Leland. That one gentleman said on YouTube, I am a woman worshiper, so it's better that we have a woman on here.
I'm ready to be
okay.
worshipped.
Well, yeah, okay.
You may begin.
I'm not surprised. Okay. All right. So let me see who we got here. Hello, Doug. Hello, Doug. First again. You've been much better recently at getting in here first. Okay, you broke tradition a few times. In your groove. Hello, in your groove. Okay. Matt Saiga. Yes, free Palestine. Matt Saiga. I love the watermelons there. Meowzord. What is that? A sneaky snake? Meowzord. Is that a sneaky snake? Thank you for hissing. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Who else is here? Who else is here? SoCal. Hey, SoCal. I'm not surprised you wanted to make your entrance, SoCal. Again, another tradition here. Lee Lane. Hello, Lee Lane. All right. Oh, that's interesting, Doug. You watched another great documentary last night about real rural America. Intense. I'd love to see that, Doug. Pizza. Okay. Okay. I watched a great documentary. Okay, that I need to see. Okay. All right. AMA. Hello, AMA. Welcome, Queen. Okay. Doug, I'd throw out the next time there's a few uh, a good call, Doug. Let's see here. Yes, there were 2, Doug. They've yep, yep, yep. Right, SoCal, okay. Yeah, ginger times 2. You're kinda right there, Leland. My sister kinda has reddish hair, right? A little bit.
I
It's kind of
yeah, I mean,
brownish
I'm not
reddish.
yeah,
Yeah,
has
yeah.
nothing to do with my fair skin, of
Yeah,
course.
I mean, both of us are basically ghosts. You can basically see our
We
internal
glow in
organs.
the dark.
We do, okay. Uh, uh, alright, what else we got here? We got, yeah, she is sassy, Lee. We have that in common. Um, well, perfect, Meowsword, perfect. Well, we're gonna be discussing about unionization, okay? Alright. That's good pizza. I love that for you. In other news, I found a white supremacist YouTube channel with a base in my state. Oh, good pizza. That's fantastic. We love that for you.
Mm,
God bless America.
God bless
God
America.
bless America.
Red, white, and blue.
Red, white, and blue. We bleed it.
3
Okay.
favorite colors. Yep,
Yeah, right. There you
yep.
go. Okay. All right. So, okay, folks. So this is what we're gonna do. Okay. First of all, if we get 2 more super chats, either on me or either my sister or I will put on the caller. You can decide. If we get 5, I'll put on the makeup. I won't force my sister to do that because we don't want to mess with her weak little skin.
My womanly
Yeah, yeah.
skin.
And, 7, we will do a Q&A, and then if we get to 10, we'll do a Jester After Dark stream. The first thing we're gonna do is we are gonna talk with my sister, okay? She is deeply involved in a union, in union politics, and things like that. She actually works for the AFL-CIO, though she's not here to represent them. She does work in that milieu, as they say. She's also sort of involved in democratic politics, knows a lot about this stuff. Okay, so we will be talking to her, and I'm just going to kind of informally ask her some questions while she's responding and stuff. Please feel free to ask her questions in the chat. I will try to relay them to her. Um, uh, Matt Saiga, I swear on my life, Matt Saiga, don't make me ban you from the chat, okay? Don't forget, Matt Saiga, I'm a woman worshiper, okay? So, all right. Um, okay. Hello, Drusilla. Hello, Radon. Hello, Luke. Okay, guys. So let's begin. All right. So the first question I have here for my sister is, how disgusting? How did you get involved in working for a union? As in, what kind of prompted you to start moving into organized labor, and what did you do before that? Go ahead.
So I think I was always interested, I think like many of us, interested in social justice issues. And at the time I'd been working at Kroger, so I was a UFCW member. UFCW is United Food and
And
Commercial
what
Workers.
is Kroger, just for people who
Kroger
don't
is a
know?
grocery store. It's a large grocery store chain.
Mhm.
Yeah, based here in Ohio, but they're kind of throughout the nation in the US. Um, and I was a part of a union there, and that's kind of what led me to working for the labor movement, working in the labor movement. One day when I realized that I could join the labor movement and kind of advocate for lots of different people, in lots of different areas because just about all of us work. Um, and that's when I decided to get more involved. And I ended up doing political work, yeah, for
Okay.
UFCW.
How was it working at Kroger? I know, aren't they one of the largest I thought okay. I know they're one of the largest, employers in the country, aren't they? Or they employ one of the largest
Yeah.
grocery chains in the
Yes,
country?
they are. Yeah,
How
they
was
are.
it to work for
Um,
them? Like, what are some of the things that, I guess,
well,
radicalized you while you were working at Kroger?
yeah, as anyone who works for a capitalist overlord would probably attest to, it was dehumanizing in many ways. They don't care about you. Store management doesn't care about you. Um, corporate management doesn't care about you. They pretend to, but there's always pressure to do more with less, always cutting hours, changing the standards. And of course, anytime something went wrong, it was the little guy's fault. It would come back down on all of us. Um, yeah, I mean, we could talk about this. I have a whole list of offenses.
I believe it. Sounds like capitalism,
But
right, Doug?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, are they SoCal? They're the biggest in the country? That makes sense. And it was, I'm guessing the CEO of Kroger gets paid a hefty, amount, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. The compensation package alone, I think it's a few $1,000,000.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. So politically, yeah, I know, uh, what sort of made you move more to the left? I don't know. That's not to say that you weren't left before, but of course, I'm trying to pretend like I don't know, but like
Yeah.
what sort of prompted you to move more towards the left politically, or get more radicalized or politicized in how you were viewing the world and such?
Yeah, I guess that is a complex
Hmm.
the answer to that is complex because it was many things. But I think starting uh in middle school more
Hmm.
so,
Hmm.
I think a lot of us, hormones are hard for humans.
That's accurate.
And those were some really interesting times, as everyone is a teenager and they're going through puberty and shit. Am I allowed to cuss?
Oh, yeah, you can cuss.
Okay. Um, I was like a really angsty teenager. And so I'd started listening to like punk music and I felt like a
Join the club.
connection to Kurt Cobain. Yeah. And so I was reading some of his stuff and listening to that music. And that kind of like, I don't know, got me thinking more about um, powers that are in charge, and especially being a girl who was becoming a young woman,
Hmm.
just noticing the differences in the way I was treated, especially by men. And I didn't understand it. It didn't seem fair to me. Why do I have to do certain things or behave a certain way solely because of the sex I was assigned at birth?
Hmm.
Um, and so that kind of fed into my angst. And that kind of led me down, I think, a path of questioning. And you definitely,
Oh, come now.
dear brother,
Come now.
you helped me a lot with that and got me
I
thinking
don't know if
about
help
it.
is the right word, but okay.
Uh, you corrupted me. Um,
But
I think that
like
sums it up.
basically was you also, because I know both you and I went to Catholic schools.
Oh, yes.
Did that perhaps did that maybe do something with it too, like a little bit? Yeah. And
Yes.
then having to
Yes.
work in grocery store with like
Mhm.
I'm guessing. Okay, yeah.
Mhm. And I mean,
Uh
even just seeing the ways struggled even to
mhm,
like stand up for myself because I'd been taught in so many different areas that I needed to be agreeable and kind,
mhm.
and I needed to listen more so than talk,
Mhm,
and realizing that I was having these difficulties when I saw all of my or a lot of my guy friends, not all of them,
mhm.
and some of the men around me didn't seem to have any sort of barrier.
Okay, so you would say that's interesting. So you would say sort of your entrance into the more left-wing stuff was, a feminist sort of perspective.
Yes, yes,
Interesting,
for
okay.
sure.
And then the economic stuff probably came after that?
Mhm.
Okay,
Mhm.
interesting.
Mhm.
Very fast, very, very fascinating. Okay. So, tell us about, so you're now working for, a big labor organization, et
Mhm.
cetera. Would you tell us about that labor organization? We know you don't represent them, but
Yeah.
what did you so you I assume you worked in the union at Kroger and then kind of found your way into the larger
Yeah.
union, right?
Yeah, so
Um,
I was a union member at Kroger, and then
mhm,
I wanted to get more involved in my union rep. So we have stewards who kind of helped out at each store, and they were the people that worked at the store that represented other employees when they had like disciplinary meetings. And then you have a union rep who actually worked for the union, and they would come by each store every so often. So I was a steward.
okay.
And so I would sit in on meetings with management and other employees. That's kind of how
Now, did you get paid any extra for that, or was sort of volunteer type stuff?
I think maybe I got like some of my dues refunded, perhaps.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
but it was more volunteer.
And how did you so for people here that might want to get more involved if they do have a union, how would you go about doing that? How did you get involved enough in the union that you were able to then make a career out of it?
So really all it took was me. I was one of those annoying kids that like would talk to my union rep every time they came in, and I'm sure they had a million things to do because
Mhm,
if for those who don't know, union reps have a lot to do constantly.
mhm,
Um Especially depending on the state you're in, if unions are really highly attacked, then your union is probably running with little money
Yeah.
so they have to make do with what they have. Um, but I would talk to my union rep every time she came in, and she came to learn kind of my political standings and was like, you might be good,
Mhm.
helping on this upcoming campaign.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I was recruited to work on a campaign and go door knocking,
Yeah.
canvassing
So
neighborhoods.
would you say then like reaching out and actually beginning those
Yes, yes,
conversations?
yes,
Okay,
yeah.
so that gets people's attention on you,
Mhm.
which then gives
Mhm.
okay. We have a question here, Kate. It's it seems like there was a general motivation to be pro-union, but was there any specific union marketing slash messaging that was the most compelling to you for you?
Um
Anything about so what made you want to get involved with that union?
So, when I was first working for Kroger and I was first introduced to the union, I didn't give two shits.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest about unions, I didn't know anything about them. All I
Mhm.
knew was that they were taking dues out of my paycheck, and of course, my Kroger when I was like you're onboarding essentially.
Mhm.
They didn't tell you anything about it. Why would they?
Yeah.
Um,
You mean old Kroger didn't tell you
yeah,
anything?
Kroger
Okay.
didn't tell me anything about the union. They
Mhm.
should, but they didn't, of course. And so I didn't really even know what they were useful for,
Yeah.
until I started running into some, um, like, issues, and I'm sure there are many people here too who are also neurodivergent because 'cause we're the best.
A lot of us here.
Yeah, but, and one of the issues with ADHD, which is something I have, is time management, so I was getting to work late a lot, um, and I almost lost my job because of it, but the union, because I was a union member, they stepped in and were able to advocate for me, and they saved my job for me a couple of times.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So would you say that the union taking action on your behalf really got you in bed with the union?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
and then having this person who I'd only met a couple of times and never really spoken to, who was my union rep, he had come in, and he was like guns blazing, was willing to like go to battle for me, and he
Wow.
hardly knew me. Yeah. And so that made a huge impression.
Mhm.
Yeah. And that's when I was like, okay, I need to figure out what all this is about.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Um, would you say there was much marketing or messaging from the union, or was it kind of weak? I mean, for not
No.
like just because of how it's structured and how there's because of the laws and stuff, it's very
Yeah.
hard for
Yeah.
unions to organize.
Yeah, very hard. They had, I think, and I worked in a massive store. I worked in a couple different stores, but the one I'm specifically speaking of, the last one I worked at, had a massive billboard, and the union was allowed to use like one little sliver
Of
of the
course, of
billboard, yeah,
course.
to
Okay.
boost information.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's yeah. I'm not surprised.
Mhm.
Okay, so next question here. So, what is the organization you work for now? What would you like to tell us a bit about it? And
Yeah.
obviously, you don't you're not speaking on their behalf,
Yeah,
but
the
just out of curiosity.
obligatory my views do not
Yeah.
represent those of the organization I work for.
Yes.
So I work for an AFL-CIO state federation. So there's the AFL-CIO national. And
Mhm.
then each state, I think most of them, they have like a branch of that that just represents the state. And then
Mhm.
even under that, we have labor councils, which represent different areas of the state. So,
Just for people to know, the AFL-CIO is the largest, I believe, the largest labor federation in the
mhm,
United States, made by the uniting of the American Federation of Labor and the what? The
Congress of
Internet
Industrial
Industrial
Organized.
Organizers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. So go ahead.
Yeah, and yeah, so there's a whole history. That's a whole thing. They
It
didn't
is.
agree for a while, and then they like got together, and then they broke up, and then they got together again.
Yeah.
Which honestly, I feel like is very representative of the labor movement throughout history and even today.
Yeah.
Um, but we can get into that later. So I work for the state federation now, and I think this is a common misconception. The AFL-CIO is not itself a labor movement.
Mhm.
It is a federation of labor unions.
Mhm.
And really, we are there to try to centralize all of our combined power.
And coordinate them? Would that be a way
Yeah.
to do it? Okay.
Yeah. Um, I guess to leverage that power, because if you take like one labor union, say they have 1,000 members, and you want to try to get something done, um, you're going to be a lot stronger if you also team up with all these other labor unions,
Right.
say 10 others, each 1,000 members. I mean, there you go. Now you have
Yeah.
10,000. Yeah. So that's essentially what the AFL CIO is.
Then you get some elites quivering in their boots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Woo. Regular people.
Oh. Okay, go ahead.
Um, yeah, so I'm the office manager where I work now. So I do a lot of a bunch of things, or I do a little of a lot of things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you do?
Yeah, I of course answering phones and such,
Yeah.
but also managing per capita, and per capita is what the labor unions pay the AFL-CIO. So it's kind of like being in a union, you pay
They're almost like
dues.
okay, it's like a dues,
Yeah,
organizational dues. Okay.
yeah, yeah. Managing that. Um, so the state AFL-CIOs do a lot with politics. So again, that's kind of the whole idea, is that we're going to group together our power and use it to advance rights for workers.
Right.
So that's kind of where we are. So I do a lot with like mailings. I do the mailings for the organization, making meetings and stuff with legislators.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
just
So you make meetings with Ohio legislators?
yeah, and like set up
Okay.
meetings and
Oh,
contacts
cool.
aides and yeah, stuff like that. It really just kind of depends on what's needed
Right.
in the office and what's going on.
Here's a good question. So, Meowsword asks, does the union serve itself or does it need another union? As in, are you unionized within the union?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Is it a separate union that you're a part of or is it
Yes, it's a separate union.
okay.
Yeah. So I work for the the state federation,
Uh-huh.
but all of us in the office and some of our field staff are members of OPEIU, which is office professionals and,
Mhm.
I think, like, service employees. There are a couple other things that fall under there, but, yeah, we are a union because, it's important. I mean, the whole idea is, practicing what you preach, you know?
Right.
And so we're all about workers' rights, so that includes the people who work for the organization.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are some of the things that unions today like that do to promote uh like to get involved in the political system? Like how do they like what kind of so does like the AFL-CIA CIO do fundraising for politicians? Does it put out like, posters or like does it do marketing? Like what is it?
Yeah, so we,
Yeah, Luke, I would guess so. Here's a question. Is it also a conflict of interest thing? Like you don't want the union to represent the union? Like you want to make sure that you're in part of a separate union that's protecting you from your employer, which is a union.
exactly,
Okay,
yes, yeah,
yes.
exactly.
Um,
Definitely a conflict of interest there.
okay. A couple more questions here. Um, okay, what about this? So this is good. Matt Saigai says might be a niche area and totally fair if you don't know much on this, but I was wondering if you know any of the academics and universities joining unions and if it had an adverse impact on growth.
An adverse
Impact. So
impact on, growth in the labor movement?
yes. So do academics joining the labor movement? Let me know if I'm wrong about this, Matt Saigai. Does that have an adverse effect, overall effect on union growth, as far as you're aware?
No, I mean, any time, um, there are groups unionizing, especially if they haven't before, I mean, that's always a positive thing. Um
Gotcha. Oh, growth of their career.
Oh, okay. Um,
On growth. Oh, I see what you're saying. So do you think that would harm? So when some people join unions, does it have an adverse effect on their career?
oh, no,
Okay.
no,
Like
no, never.
like a university professor perhaps joining a union, it shouldn't. I mean, legally, it can't
I guess
really.
that defines on I get that I think I would say that depends on how you
Got you, Matt
define
Saigai.
negatively impacting
Hmm.
your career, because I suppose, I mean, your management and stuff, I suppose, could potentially treat you differently.
Hmm.
They're not supposed to. That's
Yeah.
illegal, but we all know those asshats do. So,
Mhm.
no, and I mean, I guess for cementing yourself in your career, it only benefits that because it
Mhm.
protects you from just um, getting fired willy nilly. Generally, it does.
Yeah.
It also ensures like benefits. Pension is a big one.
Mhm.
A lot of people don't get a pension, don't have a pension, but if you're in a union, you more than likely do. Um, Yeah, so no, I would say
Gotcha. Okay. Here's a question from Lee Lane. Although I support unions, I'm going to play devil's advocate. That said, twin, what do we think about unions getting too powerful? They tend to give unions a bad rep. NJEA, for example, I'm not sure what that is, but um,
what is
what is? Would you tell us,
NJEA?
Lee Lane, what's the
Some
NJEA?
education association, maybe?
Is that the New Jersey Education Association? I could assume. They might not, of course, they might not be underneath the AFL-CIO, I'm
Yeah,
guessing, but I'm just
yeah.
curious. Uh, but what do you think about, for example, uh,
I guess I would want
let's see, yeah, the New Jersey Teachers Union, yeah.
okay,
Yeah, so what that's a good let me if I may, Leland, I know what you're asking. I'm gonna add a little more to that, Leland. I hope I don't ruin your question here. So unions being too powerful and then sort of inhibiting, uh, like, the ability of structures to change or improve. Does you see what I mean? Like, in a school setting, if
yeah,
there's not enough funding, I'm guessing that's what you're asking, Leland. But the union is demanding more wages, et cetera,
yeah.
or something like that.
So, that is and I'm not saying, Elaine, that you're saying this, but
Mhm,
that is often an argument, um, we hear coming from, the right or proponents of right to work laws is that unions make it, make growth, make progress, more difficult. Um, and that is just propaganda. That's not true. A lot of times teachers join unions or start a union because they do care about their jobs and they care about their students and the institutions that they are supporting.
mhm.
And
Oh, sorry, where Leland says, for example, all teachers in New Jersey have to pay dues even if not in the union.
okay, so
Now, do we okay, go ahead. Well, so do you think that might be a right to work kind of thing, or
yeah,
just
so
curious?
that is actually that may sound negative if you just hear it like that, like, well, forced unionism, you don't have a choice of whether or not you pay dues.
Mhm,
That is something that um, people who don't like unions like to bring attention to
mhm.
because it does make it look like it's um, like, oh, here come these big union bosses and they're going to force you to pay dues. They're going to take this money out of your paycheck. Um, what's really going on is when you first off, that protects the union. So by making um unionism like in a specific store or something, um, like a must, by making it so that everyone has to join it, that protects the union. Um, because all of these big corporations generally, the big bosses again, are trying to weaken unions. And so they're always putting out this propaganda and saying that unions are negative because of this, this, and that. Um, And so some of it is we just have to kind of try and protect ourselves. The workers have to protect ourselves. But the other thing is, I just want to bring up right to work laws. So, right to work laws essentially make it so that people aren't forced to join unions if they end up working at a job that I guess is a part of a union. I hope is this making sense to you, Sam?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Um, and what you see when that happens is even jobs that are not union jobs, you start seeing wages fall in the union job and in those jobs. And what harms the union is that they are still having to output resources for people in that workplace, even if they
Mm.
haven't opted to join the union and pay dues. So these people
Oh.
are getting the positive effects and the protections and stuff without having to pay dues.
Oh, I got you, okay.
Yeah.
So it was just even if they have to pay so, like, in some circumstances, they don't have to pay dues, which is bad for the union. So even
Yeah,
if they're not
because
part of it, it's good that they have to pay dues 'cause it's still protecting
yeah,
everyone, basically.
yeah,
Okay, okay.
yeah, and so that's why, it's harmful to unions and I guess going back to the, unions being too powerful, that is also kind of, I feel like a tale that has been perpetuated by, the right and by, our capitalist overlords. Um, shit, what did I just say?
Uh,
Just got off on.
oh, no, that's okay. You see, look, we're twins, folks. I do the exact same thing. And just lose my train of thought.
Yeah.
You're saying that like the idea that unions are too powerful is a
Oh,
talking
okay.
point.
So yeah, and it's easy for people to say, "Oh, well, the union did this, the union did that," but me being in a union means I am the union. Unions are formed by the workers. That is what makes up a union. Now, we do
Mhm,
elect democratically, we elect leadership to help run the union, like the administrative
mhm.
side, the dues side, and all that stuff. But otherwise, uh, like I am the union. We are the union.
Yeah. Can I just ask? So, to help Lee Lane play the devil's advocate here just a bit.
Yes. Yeah. Go ahead.
So I do there is some historical truth to that. Has been some corruption in unions,
Oh,
like
yeah.
historically and
Yeah.
things like that. How do you how does one sort of combat that? Is there a way to combat it? Or I mean, because I know like every human organization ends up
Uh
having some
huh.
level of corruption.
Hmm.
Um, do you feel like there's like unions in general are prone to that, or is it do you see what I'm asking? Like, is it
Yeah.
okay? Um, Even that's not to say that the companies aren't also corrupt. That are,
Yeah.
yeah, but
I So again, my views are my own.
of course,
Love to say so.
yeah,
Um, I think there are ways of going about it so that the, you know, money corrupts and power corrupts. And so there are people who that could happen to,
hmm
especially being in a union management role.
hmm
But that is absolutely not the norm. There have been some
yeah,
really bad, like big cases of that
right,
throughout history. But that absolutely is not the norm.
okay.
And I guess that's kind
So
of
it's
something.
basically a talking point that sort of is
Yeah, it's a talking
emphasized.
point.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
it's a talking point.
all right,
And I just have to say that I can't imagine. I mean, even if there are some big, big, big mistakes that shouldn't be happening.
yeah,
But when you're looking at these corporate,
yeah, right,
yeah, monsters.
yeah. Speak about corruption.
Yeah.
Uh, okay. So yeah, I'm sorry guys, you got making a bunch of good comments here. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
go back
Yeah.
up and see what
Good.
some of these are. Yeah. Uh, I'd take an imperfect, slightly corrupt union over no union. Totally support JMac. So JMac has brought up a few times the link between wage growth,
Mhm.
um,
Mhm.
and how like historically, and this is a great example, JMac. Uh, um, historically, once you start, I'm sorry, destroying unions, wage growth drops off, and so does
Yeah.
wealth. Wealth. I also know that wealth inequality skyrockets.
Mhm. Mhm.
So that's interesting.
Mhm. It's been studied
Uh,
multiple times. Yep.
um, Global, how dare you? Okay, it is not product placement. Okay, I wish Coke was paying me for that product placement. Okay, actually, I don't. But Alyssa, so Alyssa says something I've heard. Um, Alyssa says something I've heard is that unions can protect bad employees. Oh, so what's your thought on that?
So, I was also I apologize for everyone. I was a philosophy student as well. So if I sometimes like come back with these weird questions, I'm not meaning to be like, "Ooh, well, what about this?" It's just the way my brain works. I my question would be, what is a bad employee? So are we talking about someone who calls off a lot, which automatically would negatively affect the people in that department? They'd have to pick up the extra work. Or is it someone who, uses the attendance policy to their advantage? I worked with tons of people, who would play the system every day. I also managed a department when I worked for Kroger. So I like firsthand felt the repercussions of like my employees calling off. Um, but the thing I guess I would always remind myself is that these people are people too. We have these attendance policies and stuff in place, and if that's how they're going to use it, that's how they're going to use it.
Fair.
Yeah, and it's hard for me to really fight against my like unions, my union brothers and sisters when I know we're all fighting the same battle.
Yeah.
But that is a
Yeah.
very yeah, that is a an argument that I hear often.
Yeah. Well, would you say too, like the idea of a union protecting bad employees? I can see that coming out of the mouth of the
Yes,
owning class
that's what I was gonna say
because they
too.
view it as an inhibition on their profits, even though is it really hurting other employees if you're a quote unquote bad employee, or is it just that ouch, that's hurting my bottom line, so they're a bad employee?
Yeah.
It's just I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah, and I think even, trying to use some tactics, so again, a bad employee, how would that affect me? That would affect me like someone calling off, that would affect me because then I'd have to do more work. But really, it's not even that person's fault. It's the company's fault for saying, "Well, you still have to get this work done even though this person called off."
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so it's
I see. So that's almost like we've talked about this before, folks. Like
Mhm.
divide and conquer. Like make the working class blame each other
Oh yeah, they
instead of
do
the
it
owning
all the
class.
time.
That's an interesting point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, okay. No, no, I get it, Alyssa. Yeah. All right. Okay. Let me see what else we got here. I did see um, I saw another good question here. Where did I see it? Capitalists understand such a pessimist. Uh, I just okay, guys. Let me see here. Drinking all that Coke, and we're gonna think your teeth are from West Virginia. SoCal. It is sugar-free Coke. See now, look. Now I'm doing like an ad for Coke. Jesus. Okay.
I
All
don't
right.
I mean, are any of us gonna be able to afford dental work soon?
Oh
Like, we
no,
all might
no. Oh,
maybe
you know,
we
okay.
we should embrace the,
Yeah, we should embrace the rot,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, just embrace it.
Luke, how dare you? Okay. SoCal, mind your business. Haha, Mountain Dew, dry mouth. Okay. All right. So I'm sorry. I saw another question here. I'm trying to. Oh, okay. Here we go. Doug on the left. In right to work states, how can you initiate organization? Employers see you as disposable. So like in a right to work state. I mean, I guess it's different per state, right?
Yeah.
So how do you organize in a right to work state? How do you organize a union?
That is a fantastic question.
Mhm.
Uh, well, you see,
It's very hard, right?
yeah, I can imagine. Honestly have no experience. Excuse me. I don't know how you would go about that, except for, even in a right to work state, it's still illegal to fire employees for trying to unionize or organize or even for talking about organizing.
Mhm.
Not that that really is going to provide you much protection.
Yeah.
But in theory, um, but yeah, as far as like talking people into it, when there is so much out there that
Yeah.
tricks people into thinking unions are bad, it's very difficult.
Yeah.
Very difficult.
That's kind of a depressing answer.
Yeah.
It makes sense, but that's
Yeah.
how the right to work shit's working.
Yeah.
As we know, folks, I think we've said it before. The United States, yeah, you're right, Luke. You've had a lot of great comments, Luke. There's a lot of violence against the labor movement in America's history is one of the most has America has one of the most violent labor union histories. I'm not even joking,
Mhm.
and a lot of legislation against labor movements. All right, so yeah, okay. Um, so we by the way, hello London, hello everyone that came in. I haven't said hello to everyone, but hello. Okay, all right. So how do you feel? Let's get into some spicy stuff here. Okay, let's get into some spicy stuff. All right.
I see.
So I know that the labor movement, unions and stuff are typically on the side of like the Democratic Party. Okay, that's fine.
Mhm.
So how do you feel about the National Democratic Party? Do you feel it has been effective? We're talking like national, like people in DC, if you're able to talk about it. Um,
Um, how I'm sorry, I said it, how have they
how,
managed like
yeah,
workers or like the labor movement or just in general?
generally, politically, also, yeah, labor stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, really, just general. Just want to gauge your sense of the Democratic Party nationally, not locally, not
Yeah.
state-wise.
So my opinions are my own. Do not represent those of my organizations.
Mhm.
Um, I my personal belief is that no one on Capitol Hill has our backs.
Hmm.
So that about sums it up.
Shocking revelation.
Yeah. The Dems just pretend to be pro-labor, but they're scared. They're scared as hell of us too. So um
And
they do what they can to, like, I feel like, keep us quiet.
Mhm.
Um and I feel like, unfortunately, in a lot of situations, a lot of unions and labor organizations feel like they don't have a choice, and they have to choose between being fed, like, little snacks, or legislators not working with us at all.
Mhm.
So that in itself, I think, brings up a debate we could have.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
But
Gotcha, okay. Yeah, so you would agree that, like, they're probably like, the national Democrats, like, congressional Democrats and, so could probably do a little better, if not a lot better. Okay,
yes.
alright,
Yeah.
so, uh, running in for an interview, maybe we can get some pizza, right? Okay. Uh, alright, so another question here I wanted to ask you. So, um, how do you feel that, the labor movement could be used to counter the Trump administration? Are there what kind of things could we do to counter the Trump administration and their fascist.
Mhm.
I say they're fascist, like, I assume you agree. Yeah, okay, good, okay. The Trump administration, what are some tactics you would recommend?
Well, so
Thank you, Matt Saigai, for that. Zoran, yep, Mamdani, mayor of New York City, baby, I agree. One more, folks, and I'll put on the collar, or she'll put on the collar, whatever you want. Go
no,
ahead.
I will. All right.
Okay.
Um, what was the question?
Oh, how could the labor union be mobilized to resist the Trump administration?
Oh, okay. So there's this term that we all love in the labor movement. I'm sure you guys have heard it. Solidarity.
J-Mac, I do not want to coup in chat right now, okay? I am giving her the honor and respect of wearing my regal crown, okay? I could crush her in a moment if I wanted to. I could crush this revolt. Sorry, Kate, go ahead.
All right, I'm taking over the chair. No.
Don't you? Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Um, yeah, what you don't know, Sam, is that your viewers, we've all been plotting this whole time.
Oh, I know it.
This is
I
all
know
part
it.
of the master plan.
I believe it. Yeah.
Um, so
I'm gonna call in the Pinkertons. Anyway, go ahead. Go ahead, Kate. Sorry. So what could the labor movement do in response?
um, so solidarity, if anyone's heard the word solidarity, solidarity, solidarity. It's what we talk about all the time. Solidarity is all about being there for
Really?
your fellow brother and sister.
And
Um,
they them.
yeah,
I'm
and
just
they them,
I'm just being a
and
dick.
they them. No,
I'm just
yeah,
being a dick to you, Kate.
yeah. It's well, I mean, cover them all. Cover
Yes.
them all. Um, and showing up when it's important. And that is really what it would take.
Okay.
She must be the cooler twin. Oh, Alyssa. Alyssa's my new favorite. Yes,
Alyssa,
I am.
you
See,
literally
Alyssa knows.
okay.
Alyssa
Dear
knows.
God. Okay. You know what? I'm not even gonna say what you said, Alyssa. I think it's an insult. So,
Oh, you're losing
Alyssa,
control, Sam. You're losing
here, Kate,
control.
wear the collar. You are the fool anyway. So go ahead and just put on that collar. Okay. So, what about like a national strike, Kate? Do you feel like that would be a good move for combating the Trump administration?
Always.
Always. Yeah.
Yes, always. That to strike, for it to be successful, we would need like enough people that it would affect. I think the amount of money
Mm-hmm.
that companies bring in, even for a day, I mean, it would disrupt supply chains. It would disrupt so much
Mm-hmm.
for our little capitalist piggies. That I think it might actually, yeah, we would have to have enough people to do it where we would actually be able to change things and
Mhm.
affect things. They'd have to listen to us. Um,
Yeah. It's
but
about
yeah, I
like
think
3.5% of the population or something, right?
yes,
Would have to
yeah,
do it. Okay.
yeah. But I do think that would be useful.
Yeah, JMac. So JMac asked, didn't some unions in Italy actually shut down some trade recently? Yes, JMac.
Yeah.
They did a massive strike against against what's happening in Palestine, and it
Hmm.
worked.
Hmm.
Um,
And I mean, and honestly, like France does stuff like this a lot.
yeah.
Um, so
They
when I worked at Kroger, I ran a cheese shop. And there were many times we couldn't get our imported cheeses from France because the
Mhm.
workers over there were striking. Um, they're really good at it. But you can see there where, I mean, it affected things pretty severely for most cheese vendors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a good question. Luke said, so Luke said, I'm sorry, Luke. Yes, okay. There, she is not allowed to say general strike. I think though there is regulations on coordination of general strikes. I would have to look up specific laws. From what I don't think that's necessarily true, Luke. I actually kind of looked this up, but you're allowed to talk about national strikes, right? I know, I because I looked up that people are allowed to do that, but you are allowed to. It's just, yeah.
Why wouldn't I be allowed to?
Oh, I don't. Oh no, I just think Luke, he might be thinking of something else.
Oh, I see. I see. Okay. Okay.
But Luke, that's a fair point, and thank you for the warning. But I will say, like, I actually even looked up whether it's okay to promote a national strike, and it is. Um, so, uh, all right, in your groove, what if the general strike doesn't have specific demand or no leadership speaks on its behalf? So, just to let you know, on stream
Yeah.
before, I've talked about the need for demands when
Oh,
doing something like
absolutely.
that, and the
Mhm.
need for like an organized leadership to do
Mhm.
it.
Mhm.
But what is she, or in your groove, not, I don't know, sorry,
Yeah, so
he, she, they.
if there were to be a general strike that didn't have a specific demand or leadership, I mean, I think that'd be a terrible idea. I would
Mhm.
hope that the people who or the organization kind of behind the whole generalized strike idea is working on that. Hopefully, it's a group of people that know what they're doing. They've done this before, because you definitely need, yeah, that kind of organization and leadership. And like you just said,
Right.
what are we asking for? So no, I don't think it would go well without
Okay.
those things.
We also here have, why is it so hard for us to do?
That's a question for the ages.
Yeah.
So I know here with my organization, you still have a lot of different thoughts among different areas of the labor movement. And you have white collar workers that are unionized. You have blue collar workers that are unionized. You have people sitting in offices in front of their computers that are unionized. You have people that still work in factories. Um,
Oh, so is this another example of like divide and rule? Like it's hard to
yes,
build solidarity amongst the working
yes,
class?
definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. And
Okay.
then, of course, you do also have people who are working class who um, tend to lean right, we'll say.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Definitely lean right.
Go ahead. Sorry.
And they also are being lied to by the side they support. And so they often think, like a lot of the questions I've seen, that unions aren't good and they're just taking their wages and that they're corrupt. So it's really difficult. It's really, really difficult to try and bring everyone together. But what we need to do is focus on the things that affect everyone. And I was just having this conversation with Sam a little while ago. Um, and I'm sorry if this upsets anyone, but I usually have my pronouns next to my email signature. And I recently removed them because I'm finding that there are certain people within the labor movement that won't even speak to me after seeing that. Because to them, whoever they've been listening to, whatever channel they've been watching, have told them that it has talked about these trans rights issues, and they obviously feel a certain way about it. But unfortunately, what I think we have to realize is that we have to start, where can we find the most common ground? And so I think something as simple as wages. Are you being compensated fairly? Um,
So just to let you, like, I've talked before on stream about some of the issues, um, about like identity politics can be divisive, and
yes.
like regardless of how true it is. So that makes sense. I see what you're saying. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. And it's like, and it was really upsetting for me, but it's just like the day and age we're in right now.
Yeah.
And a lot of the
Right.
um
JMac.
yeah, a lot of the solidarity we had formed is on the verge of crumbling solely because of politics right now and how divided
Jeez.
everything is. And so it's like, how do we keep all of us together? Um, yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay. I didn't know that about the pronoun thing. That's fascinating.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we have, so JMac has a question here.
Mhm.
Um, I have a good question. How do you feel about the tariffs the tariffs that Trump is as a union person, not the indiscriminate, stupid tariffs that Trump is doing, but targeted, calculated tariffs that aren't insanely large? Do you have thoughts on that? If not, it's okay.
Um, yeah, that's a difficult one because I did not obviously I where'd she go?
What'd you look for?
I don't
Your
know.
drink?
She'll work. Yeah, this one will work. Thank you.
Yes.
Um, I I have not spent any time like in the building trades or I have not I don't have a lot of experience with the unions that are more what would you say? Like well, I guess what you would consider is traditional working class.
Yeah.
Um and I know they tend to have stronger opinions about this.
Hmm.
I personally, and this might sound kind of weird, being a unionist, but I am not necessarily for protectionism.
Hmm.
Um, I think there's a balance.
Okay.
And so the tariffs as they are now, I don't really see how they're doing much good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I see what you're saying. I know that there are some uh, they're historically tariffs have actually been somewhat of a left wing idea historically, but like very targeted tariffs. I think this is what JMac was. Yeah, I think that's what exactly JMac. I think what JMac's going for here is that like these willy nilly, insane, untargeted tariffs are horrific.
Yeah.
But yeah, I see what you're saying there, JMac.
Yeah, but are we talking just like so now you're saying like people losing their jobs and stuff due to tariffs? Is that kind
Yeah.
of what we're
Yes. Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
Um
But, like, historically, tariffs could be used if they're targeted that can be good for workers because it protects them from foreign
yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah, very targeted ones, of course,
Um
which is what JMac said, so, uh,
yeah, that's a really that's a gray area.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good question.
Lee Lane says, "Pronoun thing is such BS. For example, Sam could be male or female. I'd like to know who I'm responding to address them properly."
Uh,
Yeah.
Me
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
Me too. I don't
uh,
think there's anything controversial about pronouns.
yeah, me too. So,
Get it.
okay, uh had to give you a hard question. It was good, J-Mac. Okay. Sean Fain. I don't know if you can answer this, Kate, but how do you feel about Sean Fain?
What has Sean Fain done? Why so you're saying I'm kind of disappointed in Sean Fain right now. I have not checked in with
What about
Fain
what he did?
recently.
What did he do previously? I know he did some stuff that was kind of.
So he really led the UAW strikes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, was really strong in
Okay.
that. Yeah,
Yes.
not too long ago, maybe last year, was the year
Gotcha.
before? Yeah, remember all
Well, I
the
think
UAW
he's been pro tariffs. I think that's what it
Oh, has
is.
he been
Yeah, because it
that would make
protects the
sense.
automaking industry.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, I see what you're saying, Luke. Yeah, yeah. So I think it is a tariff. Yeah, UAW United Auto Workers. I don't see tariffing stuff without. Yeah, that's fair. Okay. Yeah, that's right, Luke. Okay. Um. So.
Yeah, I mean, so people in labor, that is what they care about.
Hmm.
We are seeing a lot of younger generations getting involved in unions, and we're seeing like slowly seeing unionizing numbers going up, which is fantastic. But the younger generations, they want to do more than just focus on labor, which I do too. But unfortunately, right now, especially with some of the older generations in leadership, um, things are still kind of being done the old school way a little.
Hmm.
And again, we're not really looking at some of these issues which do affect workers, but the people in charge aren't concerned about that.
Gotcha.
They don't categorize some of these issues as workers' issues.
Yeah.
So
Like abortion or
yeah,
Okay.
abortion, LGBTQ plus issues, stuff like that. Um, so leadership often you'll see them, being progressive in the way they fight for workers' rights or talk about workers' rights. Um, but then you get to something like tariffs, and you will generally see them um, favor whatever is best for the worker, even if it's something like a tariff that
Gotcha. Could be
is
bad for
bad
the country.
overall.
I see what you're
Yeah,
saying. Okay.
yeah,
Maybe if we
you
had
do still see that.
right. Maybe if we'd had a national union of some sort that was represented all the working
Yeah.
class, but there's all these different interests in these different unions for
Yes.
various reasons. Okay.
Yes.
Um,
There's some, drama between different unions and stuff. Like
yeah.
it's a whole
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
The labor movement is not above high school drama.
Right. I was going to ask you, even though I just said that identity politics can be divisive, I am curious. I have heard that the labor movement can be pretty macho and male dominated. Yeah, that's just what I've heard. I know historically it has been. Uh, do you feel that? I mean, historically, present day, how has that gone? I mean, being a woman in the labor movement, how? Yeah, without obviously getting specific or
Yeah.
whatever.
Um,
Yeah,
so yes, that is definitely
it's still
there's
dominated
been a
by
lot of
men, right?
yes, it is.
Okay.
It is still dominated by men, but there's been a ton of growth. Um, you are seeing more women than ever
That's
joining.
good.
I know even in some of like the building trades and such, there are these little like subgroups formed with women that promote and also that try to get like recruit women too. The building trades are not just for men.
Mhm.
Um, but it is definitely still a challenge. It's something that there's a lot of God, this sounds so corporate. Ugh. There's a lot of opportunity there for improvement. Um, but you also have to think about who were the people who were originally unionizing, and a lot of times it was people who were working class, um, limited education, um, and some of our more, I would say, vulnerable people in society. So people who don't have as high of an education, low wage earners,
Mhm.
and traditionally,
Women.
people in that category, yeah, have certain social and political views.
Yes.
Um, and so you have to really think about where the labor movement has come from.
Yeah.
And so that's why, because it is a traditionally male thing. I mean,
Mhm.
women weren't even allowed to like work outside the home for the longest time,
Yeah.
so
Oh, that's a fair point. Yeah.
yeah, so it is something that is still behind, but
Okay.
growing. Yeah,
Cool.
I am an officer in our regional labor council. So,
Mhm.
real quick, you have the state federation over the entire state, and then under there you have regional labor councils, which,
That's correct, Jay Mackey. Yep. About women and credit cards.
yeah, yeah. But then labor councils are over specific regions, and so I'm an officer in our regional labor council, and all of our officers, I think, besides so our president, executive director, and recording secretary, me, we're all women. So we
Mhm.
have like a nice little trifecta. So I
Yeah.
mean, there are definitely gains being made and changes, but we're in a really interesting transition period right now in the labor movement with
Mhm.
the younger generation and the older generation. So
Okay. That seems to be going on like lots of parts of society. Like in
yes,
politics, the older generation and the younger Doug, that's fantastic. Congratulations. If you are in fact getting that job, congratulations. Okay. Join a union, Doug. Okay. Uh I'm trying to think here. Does anyone have any other questions for my dear sister here in regards to the yes, JMac, you can have a job as minister of propaganda. So does anyone else have any other questions here for my sister? Um Oh, you're right, Luke. And then Emma Goldman, and I love Emma Goldman, by the way. I'm actually reading one of her books right now. Yeah, and then that radicalism was stamped out, Luke, by the state, as I'm sure you probably know, Luke. The violence done, okay, to them.
women have always played a really integral role in the labor
Yeah,
movement, whether or not it's
absolutely.
actually recorded in history or
Yeah,
talked about much. Yeah,
we
very
talked about on
integral role.
stream the idea of like women in history are often invisible because
Yeah.
they're not talked about. They're in the
Hmm.
background. Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. Any other questions, folks, for my dear sister here, who, by the way, is now a Democratic ward. What is it? Ward
Ward leader.
is a Democratic ward leader. So,
And if you
which
want to get involved in local politics, that's a great place to start.
yes, yeah. So she's
You don't
trying
want
to
to
get
get
more.
involved
She's trying to
if
get
you're
more.
crazy.
Yeah. She's trying to get more involved in politics uh, with the Democratic Party and such. Okay, to change it. I mean, not to change it, but like to. I don't want to.
No, to change.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. 'Cause I didn't want to ruin your. Okay. Anyway. So okay. Global. Who was born first? I was born first by about what 5 minutes or so. Like I popped out.
Yeah, it was probably less than that, but
Yeah. Yeah. She.
I was the headliner. He opened, I headlined,
Wow. That's a framing I didn't expect. Okay.
Next question.
Now, yeah. Shut the. Okay. So yeah. How dare you, JMac? Okay. AMA Gaming, I have a question. Why is she so slay? Okay. I don't know, AMA. I think are you a blind person, AMA Gaming? Like I don't think you I don't know. Are you sure you're hearing and seeing what you think you're seeing, AMA Gaming?
Jealousy is
You know
very
what?
ugly on you,
I think
Sam.
AMA Gaming
Ugly.
is hallucinating. Okay. Global, don't you dare support this. Okay. Okay.
Very hateful.
Right.
You look gross.
Uh hmm, rude. Okay. All right, guys. So if there's no more questions, um, I'm going to briefly, James. Oh my God, you all are just like the worst coup. You like we're all there's always a coup going on. Uh, okay. She
We're
will.
gonna take over, baby.
Oh God, where are you, Harley Quinn? Okay. I mean, you kind of
I'm
look like Harley Quinn.
something.
Yeah, okay. I'll have my sister back on again in the future at some point. With more questions and stuff. We'll check in with her about her career in politics, etc. Eventually. Um, also, yeah, okay. Hey, I did not open up a vote for sister streams. Okay, this is not a democracy. It's a managed democracy, which is what Putin says. Okay, so don't get any ideas out there, Lee Lane.
It
Okay,
looks to me like the people have
uh,
some things to say, Sam.
oh my
We should
God,
hear them out.
God, Jesus Christ. Okay, all right, okay, guys. So let me I'm going to briefly speak with my sister. Well, so what we're going to do after this, okay? We're going to I'm going to react I'm going to react to some videos, okay? And I was going to I'm going to my sister might stay. We're going to check to see if she has time to stay, etc. Um to react with me just to some stuff. So give me a second, folks. I'm going to put on the start screen. I have to use the restroom, okay? Because I've been drinking this crap. So I'm going to put on the start screen. Uh, okay, and then I'll be right back. Okay, 1 second. All right, folks. So, thank you for letting me pee for a second. My sister actually is going to stay and react to some stuff with me, so we will do that. And by the way, folks, if we get two more super chats, I will put on the jester makeup, and I will also then put on the jester hat and collar. And then if we get to 7, we will do a Q&A, and if my sister is still here, you can ask both of us questions. And then if we get to 10, we will do Alyssa, you always win, okay? Jesus Christ, I'm way too merciful. I need to bring down the hammer sometime. Okay, anyway, and then if we get to 10, we'll do a Jester After Dark stream, okay? All right. JMac, how dare you? Okay, I'm going to send you to the gulag, JMac. Okay. How dare you, AMA? I did not make that emoji for you to abuse me. Okay. Yeah, actually, yes, Alyssa. If we do get to the 5, my sister will put the makeup on me. Okay. Oh, she's way too excited. Okay. All right, because then it'll look better. Luke, how dare you? Okay, thank you. I mean, thank you, Luke. Thank you. Okay, one more. Luke says, "Let's get the makeup." Uh, let's get the make. So one more, folks, and we'll do the makeup. I do have a question here, and Matt Saigai says, "Did Sister Revolt know your feelings about Hitler?" They asked me who my favorite dictator was, and I'm like, "Oh, Hitler's my favorite." And anyway, okay, how dare you? Okay, J Mac, don't reveal that. Okay, fine, Alyssa, fine. The makeup is coming. All right, thank you guys for that. So we'll do the makeup,
Yay.
and then let me get this out here for you, Kate. So all right,
I'm gonna paint
so
your
folks,
skin.
we will. Luke, how dare you? Okay,
Skin.
let me. We got some. Oh, I should have some better brushes, or you can just use your fingers. What do you want to do? Brushes. You
Fingers.
want fingers? Okay.
Yes.
All right. She does, like, sometimes she does watch streams, Alyssa. Sometimes she does. So we all know that you all know that she's gonna do that. She's gonna mess it up big time, I'm sure, because she's kind of a clumsy idiot. Um, dumb POS, if you know what I mean. Okay.
Great.
So
Yep.
all
Show
right.
me your face. Come on.
Okay, here we go. So folks, while she's doing that, I am going to Demosthenes actually sent us a video. Demosthenes sent us a video of different Nazi symbols and what they mean. So while she's doing that, I'm just going to have this play in the background, and we'll make some comments on it while she's doing this. Okay. Um, okay. And again, because I can't see at the moment because I don't have my glasses on, but she will do the makeup. And here we go. So let's watch this while, and then Kate, if you don't mind, so you can hear it, just put this on, and I'll make comments as we go. Okay, so guys, here we go. So she will put on the makeup while we're doing this, all right? All right, so here we go. Let's watch this video and make sure it's
The
working.
hooked cross.
It is. Okay. All right, guys, so here we go. Okay.
Yep,
Or
I'm ready to go.
Hakenkreuz in German became the infamous Nazi symbol in 1925 when Hitler finalized his party's image. A black swastika rotated 45 degrees set inside a white circle on a red background. These colors echoed the old German imperial flag denouncing the black-red-gold flag of the Weimar Republic, while the swastika itself was twisted into a racial emblem for Aryan supremacy. The formal Nazi symbol was an eagle atop a swastika with two versions. The Parteiadler faced left and represented the Nazi party, while the Reichsadler faced right and served as Germany's national emblem. The eagle originated with the Holy Roman Empire, which copied it from the Roman army's eagle standard, symbolizing strength and unity.
I'm already beautiful.
Over time, it appeared in the coats of arms of the Teutonic Knights and the Kingdom of Prussia, becoming a symbol of German unity before the Nazis modified it. However, Hitler didn't invent the swastika, of course. He stole it. It had already appeared in Germany in 1907 on the flag of the Order of the New Templars, an Austrian nationalist secret society. But the swastika is much older than that. It has ancient roots in India, where it represented good luck and well-being. The word swastika comes from the old Sanskrit language, meaning conducive to well-being. Across Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism, it's a positive spiritual symbol. The swastika also appeared in ancient Greece for Zeus, in Rome for Jupiter, and
so folks, on a side note here, go ahead and keep doing. Go ahead and keep. On a side note, there are some Hindu nationalists in the world, which are basically far right wing Hindus in India, who actually who believe that Hitler went to India and they think that he determined that Hinduism and the Indian people were superior racially, which is why he borrowed the swastika. I'm not even joking. I've had students from India who believe that Hitler actually traveled to India and loved Hinduism and loved all that stuff. Of course, that being kind of hilarious, since he would have immediately seen people with brown skin and then had a little hissy fit. But it's just an interesting thought. A lot of right-wing people around the world, like there's, for example, there's even a Mongolian Nazi party in Mongolia. Okay, that uses the swastika and things like that still. And for those that like Japanese culture and stuff, I'm sure many of you have seen there are actually Japanese people will often wear Nazi uniforms with the swastika on it as like a Halloween thing or other thing. Just an interesting side note there.
Norse mythology for Thor. Native American tribes like the Navajo and Hopi used it as a good luck charm. Even the US 45th Infantry Division had a swastika shoulder patch. Despite its global history as a symbol of positivity, the Nazis' 20-year use has left a lasting stain on the symbol. The double victory rune, or Doppel-Sieg-Rune in German, was the iconic symbol of the Schutzstaffel, short SS, meaning something like Defense Corps. Designed in 1933 by SS Commander Walter Heck, it featured two Sieg runes side by side, resembling lightning bolts. The design carried a double meaning. It symbolized both the initials of the SS and the rallying cry, "Victory, Victory." The Sieg rune, originally the Sovilo rune from ancient runic alphabets, traditionally represented the sun. However, Völkisch mystic Guido von List reinterpreted it into his pseudo-runic Armanen system to mean victory. The Nazis adapted this reinterpretation for the SS, which became the regime's paramilitary arm and a key agent of surveillance, terror, and atrocities across German-occupied Europe. The SS Death's Head, or Totenkopf emblem, originated in Prussian military tradition, first associated with the Prussian Death's Head Hussars, an elite cavalry unit.
Yeah, real fast here. A lot of I don't know, like it is perfectly fine. That's it. What is it? I haven't seen it. Oh, okay, okay, continue. Yeah, go. You can keep it. So, there are a lot of times neo Nazis and stuff will use like Nordic runes, but there are a lot of people out there who are pagans who are not Nazis at all who use them, and it can be kind of confusing. So, like I know whenever I see Nordic runes, I'm always like, is this a neo-Nazi or just like a good old-fashioned pagan who's not a bad person? Anyway, so that's an example is those two lightning runes.
It was also worn by members of the German imperial family. During World War I, it appeared as a regimental badge and was later adopted by the Freikorps, paramilitaries opposing communism in post-war Germany. Under the Weimar Republic, the 5th Cavalry Regiment retained the Totenkopf, continuing its imperial cavalry heritage. In the early Nazi period, it was used by Hitler's personal bodyguard unit, the Stabswache, which evolved into the Schutzstaffel. The SS adopted the emblem for their caps, especially for their Totenkopfverbände unit, which was responsible for the Nazi concentration camps. Nazi Germany's regular army also used it as a badge on uniforms. The wolf's hook, or Wolfsangel, is a heraldic symbol originating in medieval Germany and eastern France, inspired by wolf traps used in the Middle Ages. The symbol features a Z-shaped hook, often stylized with a central horizontal bar that can be reversed or rotated. In its early use, the wolf's hook was thought to have magical powers and was believed to ward off wolves, appearing on medieval banners and town seals in forested regions of Germany. In the 15th century, it even became a symbol of German liberty and independence, associated with peasant revolts and the 30 Years' War. During the Nazi era, the Wolfsangel was adopted by Nazi groups, particularly used by the Waffen-SS and their divisions. Today, the symbol is especially linked to...
Forgive me, I'm going to pause it so I can actually... Oh, I do look kind of like Queen Amidala. Okay. Thank you, Kate. Thank you. Thank you for nothing. I think I do it better.
I improved you.
I think I do it better. Right. Okay. So, all right. Let me see. I'll take these. I'll take these from you now, since now I have the whole look here. I gotta do the. All right. So, I guess we're going. How dare you, Leland? I feel like my makeup application is better. Okay, I do. I think it's better. All right.
I would like to make a motion
Can I
Let
take
the
this off you? I
record
don't want to choke you. I
state
mean, I do,
that
but I'm
I
not going
am
to.
better at applying the makeup.
Right, right. Yeah,
Can I get a second?
yeah, shut the hell up. This is not. We don't have Robert's rules in here. This is a tyranny. This is a tyranny. Okay. Yeah, uh, okay. All right.
Lord caller, me lord.
My lord. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So thank you, Kate. I guess. All right. So shall we continue this? Right. So let's. You know what? Uh, don't worry, Lane. We're twins. We're mean to each other all the
Oh,
time. Trust
thank
me.
you.
She's pretending to be a little angel, but normally she's a monstrous witch who is constantly saying horrific things to me. She even called me the F word earlier. Okay, she called me the F word. I'm not even joking. She just comes in. She goes, "Hey there," and then she just says it. Okay, so all right. Yeah. Well, excuse me. What'd you just say?
I mean,
Okay. Um. Yeah, there, fair area, mate. You can give her the pass. Oh, okay. Here you go, Kate. Sorry, I took yours.
oh no,
So,
here's mine. Here's mine.
all right. So let's watch. Okay. Uh. All right. So let's finish watching. Okay. Of course, Luke. Right? Any woman who's doing anything empowering is a witch. So, by the way, folks, I highly. You know,
When they call me a
I hear
witch.
you if it's away from you. I mean, that's basic shit. Now, how about you move closer? We can't even see you, which is shocking.
How about you stop whining?
God, Jesus Christ. Okay. So on a, so look at you. You can't even see you. What are you doing? Like you're like off in, I don't know, you're off over in Greenland or something. Yeah. Okay. Jesus Christ. Oh, God. Okay. All right. So, what I was going to say was I highly recommend people see the movie Weapons. I saw it yesterday. And speaking of witches, I don't want to give anything away, but it's a really good movie. It's a kind of a horror mystery movie. It came out this year. Has anyone here seen it with Weapons? It's bizarre, but like in a really good way. Anyway, okay, so we'll continue this. Um, I agree, AMA, but like in a good way. It's loved, right? Okay, good. You did like it. Okay, good. All right. I just recommend it. It's very good. I think you know which character was my favorite AMA, but anyway.
They Look Like People is also a really good movie. Off topic.
They Look Like People? Okay,
Yeah,
I need
watch
to
it.
I need to watch that too.
It's a horror film.
Is it? Okay. Um, um,
Yeah,
yeah, no,
mystery.
in your groove, you're right. It is more mystery than horror. Are you referring in your groove? Are you referring to Weapons or to what one you said?
They Look Like People.
They Look Like People.
I'm assuming yours.
Yeah, because you're right. Weapons is more mystery. Okay, so let's keep watching this.
Neo-Nazi groups like the Aryan Nations
Yes,
who
Luke.
have used a variation
Okay,
of the
Groove, yeah.
wolf's hook, replacing the crossbar
So real
with
fast, folks, this symbol right here is a symbol from the Christian identity movement. But that was then taken by the Aryan nations. Remember, we talked about Ruby Ridge. Ruby Ridge, those people there were a member of the Christian identity. They're the ones who believe that in the mud people and stuff. Okay.
a sword.
Yeah.
Rune symbols. The
Right.
SS runes were esoteric symbols used by the
Thank you, Matt
Schutzstaffel
Saiga.
from the 1920s to 1945, shown on
Schutzstaffel.
flags, uniforms, and other items. They represented aspects of Nazi
Yeah, Luke.
ideology and Germanic mysticism, as well as virtues idealized in SS members. Some of the
What
key
virtues?
runes were the Odal rune, representing heritage and land. It symbolized the SS's goal of maintaining racial purity.
Yeah, in your groove. So that's a fair point. So Christian identity is like a specific group. I don't mean people who identify as Christian, if that makes sense. Okay.
Notably used by the 7th SS Volunteer Mountain Division. Today, it's linked to white supremacy and used by groups like the American National Socialist Movement or the Italian National Vanguard. Next, we got the Eif rune, a version of the Eivas rune.
Oops.
It was used by Hitler's
go.
personal adjutants like Rudolf Hess. The Hagal rune symbolized unshakable faith in Nazi
Unshakable
philosophy, featured on the SS
Okay,
Honor
I'm going
Ring,
to
a
speed it up,
personal
folks.
award from Heinrich Himmler, the leader of the SS, given to senior officers.
then we'll watch
the
Heinrich
life
Himmler.
rune.
Heinrich
This symbol was
Himmler.
used by the Lebensborn program, which supported SS families
By the way,
and
Heinrich
other
Himmler,
Aryan.
if anyone's interested, you should look up Heinrich Himmler's letters to his wife. He was into some pretty weird stuff sexually. And his letters are like full of like her calling him a bad boy, like literally being like, oh, you're such a bad boy. You've been so naughty. And like him responding like, oh, I'm not naughty. Oh, I'm like, what do you mean? Like it's kind of funny that this monstrous man.
Yeah, stop kink shaming.
I am not J-Mac, look what you're doing. Look what you're doing, J-Mac. You're empowering her, okay? Yeah, he's a bizarre guy. All right.
Groups. It represented racially valuable families. The death rune was the inverted version
Yeah,
of the
Doug.
life rune, used by the SS to symbolize death on documents and grave markers, replacing the traditional cross symbol. And finally, the Tyr rune was associated with the god Tyr and war, symbolizing
Oh, wow.
military leadership and battle in SS ideology. The Iron Cross originated as a military decoration
Luke.
in the Kingdom of Prussia and continued through the German.
By the way, we're gonna do a stream sometime on the Kingdom of Prussia. It's super interesting. Very interesting country that I'm glad no longer exists because it was so culturally militant that it probably is better it doesn't exist. But anyway.
Empire and Nazi Germany. Its design is derived from the insignia of the 13th century Teutonic Order. During World War II, the Nazis modified the Iron Cross by adding a swastika on the medal. After the war, the medal was discontinued, but
Oh, folks, did someone just subscribe over on Twitch? Let me know if someone did subscribe, then that'll count as one, and then we get one more, and we'll do a Q&A.
later adopted by neo-Nazis and white supremacists as a hate symbol. In the US, the Iron Cross became popular among outlaw bikers and skateboarders in the post-World War II era as a symbol of rebellion, but also in logos for various companies. As a result, the Iron Cross is now also used in non-Nazi contexts, especially in the US, but its meaning can vary. The Celtic Cross.
Remember how I said the Iron Cross isn't always a Nazi symbol? AMA, yes, she is a gamer. I don't know how much she has. I don't know why I'm answering for her. Are you a gamer, Kate?
I do still have the right as a woman in this country to speak for myself.
Oh my
Thank
God,
you.
here we go. Okay,
I'm sure
Jesus
that won't
Christ.
be around for much longer.
Okay.
Am I a gamer?
Yeah, that's what was asked. And you know what? We just got to the goal, so I guess we have to now answer these questions. Fine.
Originally,
Fine, 1 second. Luke, exactly, Luke. I'm progressive. I did let her speak, okay? All right. So, all right, go ahead. Are you a gamer?
Yes, I used to game more when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, that was a great and nuanced
Yeah.
response.
Well,
Okay.
as an adult, you get
we-
crushed down by life and
that's
told
true.
that you have to, spend all your time doing these other things instead of the things that bring you joy.
That's true.
So,
Yeah. God, I look like I'm dead with this makeup. Anyway, okay, folks, what questions do you have? Oh, okay, good question, American Against Fear, Doug. Have I turned her onto Ren? I haven't yet, but I will. Have you ever listened to Ren? Okay, so
maybe.
musician from the UK. Okay, she has not. Well, I will show her Ren, okay? Okay. Hello, limited edition snail, okay? Yeah, isn't Ren good, limited edition? By the way, limited edition, have you been around here before? Or are you new? If you're new, that's great. Just curious. I'll just call you limited. All right. What about this? What games did you play, says J-Mac? You do, Doug.
I like
Gotcha,
different
limited.
things.
Mhm.
I like different things. I don't know. I always enjoy playing shooters with people, like with
Ugh,
Sam. I
cringe.
enjoy doing that.
Yeah.
Of course, there's like Minecraft. I like to do. I like strategy-based games as well. Deck building games.
What about like Skyrim and shit?
Yeah, Skyrim. Yeah,
Mhm.
RPGs. Yeah, MMOs.
Well, actually, Luke, it's funny you say that. We used to play GoldenEye, like when we were younger, like a whole bunch.
Yeah.
On the Nintendo 64.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
was actually the first game I got. Yeah, was
Yeah. Okay.
Goldeneye.
Yeah. Yes, I remember that.
Mhm.
Okay. Uh, here we got another one here. Leite, how often does your brother call you?
Actually, not enough.
Yeah, we
Not
don't need to
enough.
get into this
Oh, we
conversation,
do. We
Leland.
do need to get
We
into
don't need to do
this.
this.
Yeah.
We don't need to. We no need to.
Yeah, let's keep answering these questions.
Just kidding. That is true. I actually don't talk to her that much. That's very true, actually. Um. Uh. Yeah.
We both are just incredibly busy, though. It's just
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Everyone think of questions that'll get me in trouble. Okay. Uh. AMA gaming. I don't know if this is too personal, but did your sis know you were gay before you came out? Did you? Did you know I was gay before I came out?
Yeah.
Leland, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did? Okay,
Yeah.
fair. She did? She did know. Um, she knew? What gave it away? I'm just curious. Well, what gave it away? Was it just the weird interaction with girls? There was so when I before I came out, folks, I actually it was a glass closet, right, Jay Shadow? Before I came out, I was in, like, a relationship with one girl, and kind of in a relationship with her, but it went so far like, the first time I kissed this person was the last time I ever kissed a girl, and that ended the relationship. Let's put it that way. Because 'cause I'm like, this is not something I am into." Anyway, but, yeah, anyway,
Um,
uh-huh. So, yeah, I know AMA, okay. But what were you gonna say,
maybe
Kate?
I didn't necessarily know that you were gay, but I think initially I suspected you were asexual.
Oh, got you,
Yeah.
okay. That makes sense, okay.
Yeah.
Um
Um,
Okay, that's funny. I have not, but that's funny, Jay Shadow. Okay. Let me see what else we got here. Uh yeah, Morrowind was good too. What else, folks? What other questions do you got? Yeah, I have Jay Shadow, I have not seen that trend of gay people saying there was one childhood
yeah,
photo
I
of them.
have.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't seen that, but that sounds super interesting.
Mhm.
Um, okay. What any other questions, folks? That was a quick Q&A if we don't get other questions. I'll give a couple, maybe a minute or so, see if anyone else has a question for us. Remember, folks, you can ask us about anything. You can ask us about personal stuff. Of course, we can decide to answer what to answer there. Political stuff, history stuff. Childhood photo stream. We could actually do that, Luke. We could
Oh,
do
that'd
that.
be
We could
fun.
do a childhood photo stream. Um, uh, yeah. That'd be actually really cute. We have some really cute photos, I gotta tell you, because her and I, like, we hung out a lot when we were younger. There's, like, an image of us standing in a puddle of mud because 'cause we'd been
Mhm.
jumping around in the
Oh
mud.
my
Okay.
god.
Uh, alright, so some other questions here. Uh, in your groove, what do you think of Sam's partner?
I love him.
She has to say that. She's required to
He's
by
one of
law.
us. One
Yes.
of us.
One
One
of
of
us.
us.
Okay, anyway, next question here. Halloween costumes. Are you planning to do a Halloween costume kit of any kind? I think you all know
No,
what I'm gonna be for Halloween. This. Okay.
I I love I always, like, plan an outfit and everything, and then it gets closer to Halloween, and I'm like, "Oh, yeah, shit costs money," and then, it falls through. Tends to be how it goes for me,
There you go.
with most things,
There
in
you go.
fact.
Um, Kate, are you gonna be dressed like a dumb never mind. I was gonna say something very
Like a bad
insulting.
bitch, yes.
No,
Yeah,
I wasn't gonna say bad before
yes,
that word.
bad. That
Okay.
is what you were gonna say.
Anyway, okay,
Oh, I like this one. Can you beat up your brother?
I was skipping
Yeah,
that one, but
let's
okay,
find
okay,
out.
okay,
Here, let's find out. Taking off
okay,
my
yeah, okay.
earrings.
Oh no, okay. Uh, okay. So yes. Yes, who can beat? I would bet she probably could beat me up. Um, okay. Probably, or at least she could try. Um,
I think if I was, like, in a rage.
yeah, you probably would be able to put me in your rage. Yeah. Um. Uh. So what about this one? Who is the person that drives your relationship? One to keep in touch more often. Well, okay, no, but admittedly, it kind of goes both ways
Yeah,
a lot of the time.
yeah.
I'd say overall it's her, but we're really close, like my sister and I.
Yeah.
A lot of times we don't communicate because we know
Like,
that
just
we know that the
yeah.
other one is there if we need them and stuff. But yeah. But the other thing too is, folks, is I've often lived away from her. I have often lived far away from her, like in other states and stuff.
Mhm.
But yeah, yeah, it kind of goes back and forth, but generally I'd say she does. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm not meaning to answer for her, but Demosthenes, what is the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow? What is the airspeed velocity of an
A European swallow or an African swallow?
there we go. There's the answer. Yes, yes. Is it a European swallow or an African swallow? Okay. Okay. Right. Um, let's see here. Who? Okay. AMA gaming. Who's smarter? Be honest. I'd say we're both of equal intelligence.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, right.
Um, no, yeah, I honestly don't know, but Sam and I would say we do definitely have different minds. Our minds process things differently. I
Yeah.
think that's very obvious.
Yeah. How would you say? So, like, I have a lot of like academic not type
Yeah,
knowledge. You have a lot of like, I don't know what, like street knowledge. What's the like
yeah,
organizational knowledge? I'm not sure. Um, but
yeah.
like,
Street
yeah,
knowledge.
we kind of, yeah. Uh,
He knows more stuff than I do. Like if you just want to look at facts,
mhm. I agree
he
with that.
definitely, yeah.
But she's better at like communicating
Um,
and like,
maybe socially.
yeah, probably socially. I mean, somewhat. It
Yeah, I mean,
depends.
like not great by any means, but
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
um,
So yeah. Uh,
yeah, that's a hard. That's a hard question. I'm
that
not
is a
really
hard
sure how.
question.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
question.
All right. Okay. Let's see here. She has people skills exactly. Will I ever try to teach again? JMac, I would like to. At the same time, I would also not like to. I love teaching, but Kate can tell you this. It's been very hard on me. Like she's had to live through all the shit that I've been through in teaching, and see the up and downs and stuff. So like, I love teaching, but it's gotten so hard to be a teacher.
Mhm.
I would rather do this
And
permanently.
it's not getting any easier.
Yeah,
So
it is definitely not getting any easier. So I still do what I love here. Like I still like teaching. I wish I could teach, but alas, it's also especially hard since I'm a gay teacher in this environment. Yeah. I will if I have to though. If I end up not being able to do this full time, I'll try to go back to teaching. Okay. What do I think of the East Wing of the White House? So you mean being knocked down in your groove? So when do you want to you hear about how Trump is knocking down the East Wing of the White House? How do you feel about that?
yeah, like can we? What are we doing? What are we doing? Especially, I mean, the first thing I think of is the fact that the government shut down. And so we have thousands of workers that are being told it's mandatory for them to report to work, but they're not getting fucking paid. Um, and yet it's like the Gilded Age all over again.
Oh,
It's
good
just,
reference.
it's just insane. Have you seen pictures of it too?
Yes. Oh,
It's
yes.
literally like gilded in gold. It
Yeah.
is just,
I always say it's like the Palace of Versailles, and we know what
yeah,
happened there in France.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's
Uh,
90,000 square feet. Like that is insanity.
yeah,
That's
it is
just
insane. Okay. In your groove, what do you think? Okay. Outer signal. If money was of no importance, if money was of no importance, but you had to work a 9 to 5, what would you do for a living? Uh, oh, that's a good question. What about you? What would you say, Kate? I'd probably okay. I would say if money was of no importance and I had to work a 9 to 5, I'd be an academic of some sort, like a professor or something like that. Um, Probably. I just love academia, but
mhm.
yeah.
Would you, like, wanna do research? Would you be like
I don't know. I'd be like a public intellectual, or I'd be a jester professionally. Like, if I could be if I were funnier, I would love to be a jester professionally. Okay. Yes. What would you say, Kate?
Um, I would probably be some sort of artist. I would probably do like yeah, like a political artist and like
I just realized,
commentary
can you
on
move over a little bit? It's kind of weird. I don't know if you can. I just realized you're kind of half. Okay, there we
there.
go. Um, yeah.
But I also really like this is gonna sound weird, but like a crime
What
scene
else is new?
detective or something.
Oh my God, yeah, me
Yeah,
too.
I like really yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's cool. All right. What else we got here? Boop doo boo. Okay. Yeah, Alyssa, I am kind of a nerd, and she is the cool one. That is accurate. Okay. Though she's kind of a nerd too, but in a different way. But yes. Okay. Kind of runs in our family. Did you see that in Oklahoma they have to teach that Trump didn't lose? Yep, I did, J Mac. This is why I'm avoiding being a teacher again. Okay. Okay. Luke, I think the education system is taking a downward spiral. It may be better to be a professor. Exactly, Luke. And even the higher education is kind of taking a downward spiral, but I would still prefer professorship to that. Uh, okay. When is the oversimplified series starting? Jay Shadow. The next video my dad and I are going to do are probably going to be one of the oversimplified videos. One of the issues is though they're kind of long, and I will need to like maybe figure out if to do it in parts or not. But yeah. Uh, let's see here. What I miss here? Lee Lane. I know I've heard Lee Lane about Pennsylvania, but I would need a place to live there, Lee Lane. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of money right now, so it'd be hard to make that move. Uh, all right, Matt Saigai. Of course, you being here, Matt Saigai, makes it worth the time. Okay. Can in your groove? Yes, I get my gilded ballroom, and all you all don't deserve your food stamps. Absolutely, that's what appears to be the case. Um. Uh. Okay. Tell me oh, how dare you. Okay, Macy says, "Hello, Macy. I haven't seen you for a while, Macy." Kate, are you me? That's what Macy says.
Yes.
Okay, there's a good answer. Okay.
I was
Uh,
wondering how I was gonna tell you, but since you got it, I don't have
yeah,
to worry about that anymore.
right. Okay, here, AMA Gaming says, "Kate, can Kate speak any language beside English? If not, what language would she want to learn the most?"
I am great at speaking bullshit. That is the other language I
You
speak.
should be a Republican.
Uh, um, yeah, that's it.
Okay. So you don't have a language you'd want to learn to speak?
Oh, that I wanna learn?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, all of them. If I'm being, for real, I love languages,
Mhm.
and I think it would be very useful, to be able to communicate, um,
What
with
language?
everyone I come across with.
Well, what
Which
language would
one? Probably
yeah.
Mandarin.
Mandarin. Oh, good
That's an
call.
important
Yeah,
one. Yeah,
that's a very
yeah.
important one. God, how many times do I have to ask until she answered, folks? Jesus. Okay, I was like, "Which language? Which language?" And then she's like, "Oh, I'm a politician. I'm gonna dither around and not answer the question." And then again, "I'm gonna dither around and not answer the question." Jeez, it wasn't even a hard one. God. Okay. Um
Just insecure because, your viewers like me more.
Okay. Here we go. Jay Shadow. Wait, are you guys twins? You guys are twins? Why doesn't she look like a clown? We've actually gotten that question before, Jay Shadow.
Many times.
Yeah, like we'll be next to each other and then they'll ask, "Are you identical?" And it's like, "No, that's not how
We
that works."
no.
Yeah, that is not how you work. Okay, female male can't be. Okay, anyway. Uh this is a good question here from JMac. Tell her how you back the blue and love cop videos. I told them I was like one of my confessions is that I like watching police videos,
Mhm,
and now they
mhm.
all hate me because they think I love police officers. What do you say about that, Kate?
So I may or may not watch police videos
Uh,
sometimes too.
uh,
Um,
okay.
not for that reason though. Um,
Just for entertainment purposes. I know Amy.
I think it goes along with the whole like crime scene thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah, yeah. She's obsessed with like gore and shit. Like she loves watching people get slaughtered.
okay, now I
She
wouldn't
loves, like, seeing children cry after losing their parents, like,
but like who doesn't, right?
she's
Like that's not
really
a
into that
weird
shit.
thing. Uh,
God, okay. Alright, so, um, what's the biggest alright, American Against Fear, what is the biggest lie you've told your parents your sister doesn't know about? The biggest lie I've told my parents that my s That my sister doesn't know about?
That's gonna be a hard one, yeah, because
Yeah, I don't know.
when Sam says we're close, like,
Yeah, we're
partners
very
in crime,
close.
like,
I
ride
I
or die.
I don't know I
So
don't know I don't know if there's any I honestly don't think there's any lies. There may have been, like, small, like, really tiny ones way in the past that I wouldn't remember, but, like,
but also if he did lie, he would tell me what it was so that I could be on the same page if I was questioned by our
there
parents.
you
So,
go.
like,
There you go, right? And it's called
yeah,
coordination, folks. And we have, like, that psychic twin thing going so we can
yeah.
'kay, actually, weirdly enough, we don't obviously, we don't believe in that shit, but we do because we know each other very well, we can easily pick up on, like we can kinda communicate without speaking. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, right, J-Mac, okay, okay, end the stream? How dare you, AMA Gaming, okay. A bunch of police brutality lovers here. Yeah, I guess so, okay. It looks like you can put up your thin blue line flag across the Ukrainian flag there. Luke, how dare you, okay. Jay Shadow, how many fist fights did you get in growing up? I had to fight for my life against two older sisters. So my sister and I would hit each other a lot. I think it was mainly me hitting her though. I guess I'm a woman beater. In that way. No, don't clip that. Just because. But like we would do this thing where like we would punch each other in the arm as hard as we could,
Yeah,
as like a
that's
I get right, Jay Shadow. I should have been a cop, but like as like to see
yeah,
who
like
would
playing chicken
yeah, like, who could
almost.
play
Yeah,
chickens, and then we'd get, like, big bruises on our arms.
yeah,
So, like, I'd punch her, then she'd punch me, and then I'd punch her, and
yeah.
then whoever had to stop first. Um, so, yeah, okay. Okay, alright. What was the biggest scandal of our childhood together? Ooh, Lee Lane. The biggest scandal of our childhood together. There were a lot of scandals in our
Mhm.
childhood.
Yeah.
Uh, there was a time where, give me a second, folks. Okay, okay. I just had to ask her if she was okay with me talking about this. Okay. Uh we both
Angsty period I
yeah,
mentioned earlier.
so we were in is that true? My noise gate isn't that good, by the way. Is that true? Okay, so you could all hear it. Okay. So whatever.
Well,
So uh um we
so Robin Hood,
yeah, like
uh,
Robin Hood, right?
steals from the
Steals
rich,
from the rich.
gives to the poor.
We occasionally
Part of that.
would shoplift together. Now I am not I
We did the steal from the rich part.
we didn't yeah, we kind of steal from the rich. I mean, we did
That's what
though.
I told myself at the time
It is
in my
stealing from the
angsty
rich.
state. Yeah.
It is kind of stealing from the rich. I won't go into details there, but um that is something we would coordinate on. Eventually, one or both of us got caught. I don't want to point fingers or anything. My point is that we weren't that good at it. And there are because we're white, right? There were no like those records got expunged. Let's put it that way. But that we did engage in some petty theft together. Anyway, without going into too much detail. All right. Well, remember, this is our angsty phase. This is our
But for
angsty
my
phase.
future political career, I'm sorry I did that. It was wrong. I'm never gonna do it again.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah, she's very sad about it.
Yeah.
She's very, very
So
regretful.
long ago.
Yeah, very regretful, of that.
Oh, it was definitely a call your parents
Yeah,
situation.
and, here's the thing, folks. The day that one or both of us was caught was Mother's Day. Anyway, so
Yeah, but we're like the best children.
yeah, we are the worst children. I mean, the best children,
The best
excuse me.
children, yeah.
Anyway,
We bought the Mother's Day cards though.
we did, yeah,
We did go through
funny enough,
self-checkout.
we did buy
We bought the Mother's Day cards.
we did buy the Mother's Day cards. Those were not stolen. Okay. Those were bought honestly, okay?
So
Anyway, so you could have starred in Cuomo New York mayor ad. Thank you very much. Matt Saiga. If we get two more folks, we'll do a Jester After Dark stream later, okay?
Luke, it
All
also
right.
depends on how much you steal, and the dollar amount was
Not that high.
high enough that no,
Mm.
there was trouble to be gotten into.
Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
did I say it like that?
I don't know.
We got in trouble
W
because of the dollar amount.
Yeah, the dollar amount. We were efficient enough that we were able to get a lot in the like, anyway, but then we just didn't make you get it, okay? I don't wanna go into detail. Anyway, so yeah, so that's probably the biggest scandal. Um, us 2 good little Catholic kids. Uh, anyway, J-Mac, don't d I didn't say anything, J-Mac. Okay, so, okay, right, so anyway, uh, I think we're still banned from that store too, technically.
I'm
I think we
sure,
got a
but
lifetime ban. Anyway.
I've been back there multiple
Yeah,
times.
I know. They don't recognize us anymore. Okay, anyway. So anyway, okay. Any other questions? Hey, go ahead and keep guessing, J-Mac. I'm not gonna tell you though, okay? Any other questions, folks? Hey, Mithril, good for you though, right? Good for you for apologizing for it, I guess. Uh, all right, guys. Any other last questions here? Do we have? That's a good question, Jay. Do we have the same type in men, Kate? Do we have the same type in men?
No,
No. Yeah, I
no,
would say no, we do not.
no.
Yeah. Yeah, I can try and get her to join me more often. She does work and stuff. Like she has right other than me, who kind of does this profession like full time. She has other stuff to do, but I can try to get on her here on her more often. Yeah, the good question. We need if we get one more folks, we'll do a Jester After Dark stream. Okay. Yeah, I can try to get her to join more often, Leland. Um, okay. All right. Well, that's fair. That's fair, Jay Shadow. Obviously, I'm into gay men, right? And she's not into gay men. I don't know. Maybe she is into gay men. Who knows? She did date a gay man once or something, didn't she? Anyway, I didn't without knowing. Okay.
I don't think either of us knew,
I don't
actually.
think either of us knew. Luke, thank you very much. Okay, folks, we got enough for the Jester After Dark stream, so I'll do that later. Okay. All right, guys. Any last? Okay, Jay. I guess so. Any last comments here before we go on to some reacts? Yeah, I think she was AMA. Yeah, but like, this was like when she was younger, like teen. I don't know why I'm talking for you, Kate. Like
Yeah.
teenage stuff. So you know, um, okay. All right, guys. So all right. So if there's no more questions, folks, we will just continue to react a bit. We will react to something. We got what time is it here? We got all right. So we'll go for about what time to get this? Okay, we'll go for about 20 more minutes. Okay, and then of course we'll do a Jester After Dark stream. Okay, because we got enough for it. Thank you, Luke, for everything. Thank you, Luke, for your contributions. Okay, so all right. So let's continue here, folks. I want us to react to uh you're right, I kind of am Jay Shadow mansplaining her life. Let's watch this. Now this was sent to me on Discord. Uh and this is a video from Second Thought, which is a channel I like a lot. I think he's a communist or a socialist, something or I mean, or, communist or socialist.
You said communists.
Oh,
I
of
didn't.
course. Yeah, the shock and the fear, right? Yeah, I know, shocking. Second thought, right, Meowsword? Okay, Luke, have we done a labor she did, Mithril. She did apply my makeup, Mithril. Okay. Have we done a labor movement stream yet? Could be a multi-part one. Luke. So this is the first part, and I'm gonna have her back to do more on this because she's more knowledgeable about the inside workings of these things than I am. But yes, we'll definitely will. Okay.
Meow Zord. Second thought.
Yeah.
Mommy.
Okay.
That's so sweet.
That means I'm the first.
Thought.
Oh, okay. So let's
Thought
do
life.
thought life. Okay. Um, you're right. I am the better twin, J Mac. Anyway, so let's watch this. This is the second thought. This is let's watch this together. How do you feel about Mom Donnie, Kate? Yeah, she loves Mom Donnie.
I do. I do.
Yes. Second thought is definitely communist. Okay, thank you, Death Eye today. Yeah, he's a communist. But let's see what he has to say here. Oh, I see what you're saying, Luke. Yeah. I have plans to do that, Luke. I got a bunch of streams lined up. J Shadow thought that I got thought with a okay, that's I got even okay, that's too much, J Shadow. I don't even know how to okay, or gay son. Apparently we have both on stream today. That's true, yeah, true, AMA. Okay. All right. So
oh, sorry.
what was I gonna say? Okay, sorry. Oh, I got you, J
Gay
Shadow.
son? What's gay son?
It's as a daughter. So I don't know.
Oh.
Chat's going crazy. I don't know what the I've lost the thread. Okay, so let's watch this together, folks. My sister and I will comment on it at will. Okay, shall we?
I'm not just gonna throw this monkey wrench. I'm not straight either. All right.
Oh yeah,
Start
that. Oh yeah, that's a fair point.
Start
She
the
is not
vid.
straight either. So how would you define yourself, sister?
I feel like queer sums it up nicely, but
There
if
we
we
go.
have to
Yeah, I
go
forgot to
with,
mention that.
I guess pan. If I had
Okay.
to choose
Yeah.
one of those words and stuff me in a box,
There
that
you
would
go.
be the one.
Yeah. Okay. Deal. I'm just gay. I'm just flat out
Yep.
gay.
Boring.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's split. Anyway. Okay. Let's is that true? Death died today. Okay. Well, let's see what he has to say. This was sent to me. We'll see if he. Okay. So this is second thought. Let's watch.
Socialists don't always win. Recently, in New York, though, a charismatic young socialist, supported by both DSA and working families, running on a platform of affordable housing, publicly owned grocery stores, and more mental health responders instead of cops, actually won the Democratic primary. In a firmly blue city, in a firmly blue state, that's usually the end of the story. But then,
that's good, Death
in
Eye
November, India Walton lost the general election. Back in 2021, Buffalo, New York re-elected centrist Democrat Byron Brown as the mayor. After losing the primary to a DSA candidate, Buffalo's establishment...
Yeah, do you guys hear about this, how India Walton, they like changed the rules and shit to try and prevent her from actually, taking over? Real gross stuff, yeah.
Freaked out. Millionaires, real estate moguls, Republican donors, all terrified by the prospect of a politician they hadn't completely bought and paid for running a major city, formed a united front basically overnight and swept Brown into office on a write-in campaign and a mountain of establishment money. Despite losing the Democratic nomination, Brown won the general. And there are a lot of reasons this upset happened. For starters, while Brown quickly got to work outspending India Walton and pretending he suddenly wasn't a Democrat after 30 years with the party, the top party brass like Chuck Schumer took their sweet time endorsing the candidate actually running on their ticket. Some, like Kathy Hochul, the governor of the state, never even did. There was no vote blue no matter who mass mobilizing like we see every 4 years for the presidency. The party left Walton...
Oh, I got you. I'm sorry, Amy. I got you. I didn't get the reference. I thought it was something funny. I'm ignorant, AMA. Thank you for explaining that.
Out to dry. And that meant that even though Brown was notoriously corrupt to the point the FBI was looking into his entourage, that poverty in Buffalo was going up, and that the racial wealth and homeownership gap was one of the worst in the country after 15 years of Brown being mayor, or even just the fact that he simply filed too late and couldn't legally be on the ballot, and so he needed help from the district judge, the brother of one of his top donors.
No.
None of that ultimately mattered. Buffalo got bombarded with Brown ads and door knockers and mailers.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Walton's life got put under the microscope. And the best the media could come up with, by the way, was that she did $300 worth of food stamp fraud at 21, 18 years before the election, didn't show up to court one time because her summons was sent to the wrong address, and at one point posted a, frankly, really good Facebook comment. Compared to a corrupt pro-oligarchy guy making life more expensive for regular Buffalonians and doing nothing about inequality and city water being a glorified lead distribution network, come on. But the Buffalo elite wanted Brown. And Brown is what they got. On December 31st, he was sworn in and got an extra 3 years as mayor of New York's second largest city, until he resigned to be CEO of a horse betting company or something.
Of course he
But if it wasn't obvious already, this isn't a video about Buffalo. We're talking about Zoran. Zoran Mamdani is not running to be mayor of the second biggest city in New York. He is a candidate in the race for the biggest city in the country. The rich came for Walton's head in Buffalo, but Zoran's in the financial and cultural capital of the world. That's not going to cut it. They're going to need him to be obliterated.
Yeah, my concern, folks, is like they're going to want to make an example of him.
Worried for his safety.
Well, me too. I was about to say. I think I've said this before, folks. Like, I am legitimately worried about Zoran's safety. Like, historically in the United States, people who are very popular and are left wing have a tendency to die. Okay. And that doesn't mean that will happen, but I'm deeply concerned about his safety. Also, the violent rhetoric being levied at him by the right wing, trying to associate him with like 9/11 and terrorism because he's Muslim and things like that. Like, and they will want to make an example out of him, very much like they did to Luigi Mangione when they tried to get him on terrorism charges and things like that to try and crack down on dissent, kind of like a public execution type deal, like in terms of the effect of it. Yeah. Doug, yeah, Republicans are already looking to denaturalize him. Yeah, okay. So I'm worried that they'll try to make a example out of him. I did not, Meowzord. I would love to watch that. Did I watch his recent Islamophobia response video? I did not. Maybe would someone put that in the reactions? I'd love to see that.
Before we get to the rest of the video, I want to take a quick second to do a shameless plug for our Patreon. If you're not interested or you're unable to support the channel, our cause and our amount gets early access to every video. Join the Discord and get early access here. Could be a warning
Discord,
shot
folks.
for their way of life. Every out. Our goal is anybody but Mamdani.
Thank you.
Fighting Mamdani could be a warning shot for their way of life. There is, I think, a real fear among the rich and powerful that a whisper of socialist success here could be a warning shot for their way of life everywhere. Just look at them freaking out. Our goal is anybody but Mamdani. Fighting Mamdani is expensive, but allowing him to win will cost you more. This tragedy is not just a moment of mourning, it's a call to reject policies that would make our city even more vulnerable. Every single one of his plans will hurt the very people that he thinks it will help. If he's the cure to what ails the party, then cyanide is the cure for a headache.
Look, it's blatantly obvious that the field needs to narrow or Mamdani will win. And I think that's a disaster for this city because we are the capital of capitalism and we need to remain
folks, I got the capital of capitalism. I love that. Love that. Can I also just point
showing all your cards?
Right. Kate, please forgive my misogyny here. Why is it that every Fox host who's a female looks exactly the same? Right? They're like, it's always the blonde with like they have this very, very thin idea of femininity. And it's always a white woman with blonde hair.
Wrapped in red, white, and blue.
Wrapped in red, white, and blue. And like, anyway, I know. It's just something I noticed. Okay, moving on.
way.
Next week in New York, there's a chance that socialism could actually finally win big electorally and make daily life.
Yeah, Jeffries did just endorse Mamdani. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They have only one person to appeal to. He's attracted to his daughter, True, okay? And it was a very timid endorsement, by the way, by Hakeem Jeffries.
For some 8 million working class people, actually bearable. This is exciting, but there's just this little voice in the back of my head that's scared because this story is looking just a little too similar to what we've seen before. A shock upset in the primary, a centrist with the worst track record still fighting after losing badly, top Democrats taking forever to endorse the winner or mobilize voters. Meanwhile, random dirt about petty bullshit like stolen tables and college applications makes the rounds in the media. They are trying to run back the Walton strategy. Yes. But it's not going to work.
They are.
And I think they know that. And I think that's making them more desperate. As of writing, just about every poll is showing a Zoran win. This one even shows what could happen if everyone but Sliwa, everyone but Adams, and everyone but Cuomo drops out and they all unite behind one guy. In every single hypothetical, Zoran comes out on top, no matter what everyone else does. We're editing this script after Adams dropped out for real, and still Zoran is in the lead. And then there's clips like these.
I was a bit hesitant actually to take this interview because I didn't want to be seen wearing this shirt. Because I don't particularly support Cuomo. I don't think he's a righteous guy. I think he's a bit of a morally reprehensible person. But for me, I think, you know, even though he's a bad guy, he's paying $200 a day. And even if it is like blood money from like billionaires and super PACs and, you know, not righteous causes, a guy's gotta get money. I'm sorry.
So who do you support instead?
Personally, I kind of stand behind Zoran Mamdani.
I don't think.
Okay, I'm sorry. Do we know for sure that isn't like a? I'm just being. Do we know for sure that isn't like an ad for Mamdani? You see what I mean? I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, but that's pretty awesome, right? If that's true, it's pretty awesome, or a pretty great. I mean, kind of funny. Okay.
Anything, any poll is going to explain how cooked everyone else is better than this. Actually, you don't even need a long explanation, just these 3 seconds. I think these clips, these polls, this primary...
Yeah, it could be guerrilla advertising.
They prove something. Zoran showed Democrats that there is a path to victory, and that path is real working-class politics. From a guy that's actually invested and doesn't just talk about vague stuff like...
Well, what's that? I don't even know what that is.
Rising together.
So let's rise together.
Right after Trump's victory, Zoran showed us that he's ready to give average people real consideration and power. Going to places in New York that flipped red. He didn't stick to some consultant's script. He didn't appeal to vague positivity. He gave people the mic to talk about the stuff that actually matters.
That's so important.
Rent, groceries,
so
childcare, Gaza. But he didn't stop there. Instead of carrying a message of hope without substance, like so many Democrats do, Zoran's policies actually materially address people's problems. Childcare is expensive, rent is too high, immigrant and LGBT rights are being stripped away. Here are the solutions. Easy to find, easier to understand, and all under a simple slogan. New York is too expensive. Zoran will fix that. With over 50,000 volunteers, 1.6 million doors knocked, and more votes than any other primary candidate ever, all this, it works.
Agreed, Luke.
But for all that positivity, that voice in my head is still there because I sort of skipped over the biggest parallel with Buffalo. It's not the lack of party endorsements or the hit pieces that killed Walton's bid. The key to Brown's victory was the money. In just 4 months, Brown went from not really running a campaign to raising $850.
Yeah, absolutely, J-Mac. I think the same was true of Bernie's campaign when he was running for the president. He got far more individual donations than any other candidate, but was still outraised because of the big money. But you're right, J-Mac. Which shows that he's the one that's actually preferred by the regular people. I just hope that the big money doesn't counter that. I don't think it will because he's way ahead in the polls. But
grand. Mostly from the rich and powerful. And when the general election came around, his sudden vote boost didn't come from working class neighborhoods, it came from the rich. And in New York, the anti-Zoran money isn't what's missing. It's coming from the same crowd we saw in Buffalo. Democratic cowards, Republican staples, and most predictably, the ultra-wealthy. Sometimes all at once. But the scale is just different. If $850,000 in 4 months in Buffalo sounds insane, New York...
Yeah, Luke.
New York's a whole different ballgame. You might have already seen the campaign finance statistics.
What is this?
Cuomo got about $5.3 million in donations. Adams, nearly $7 million. And Mamdani, almost $4 million. Big gaps and huge sums of money, but public matching has sort of evened things out. The difference, though, is that Zoran's campaign got to almost $4 million with 54,000 people donating.
Wow.
The other two can't even get to 10,000 donations.
So you were right, J-Mac.
Their average contribution is in the hundreds of dollars and 10 times more than Mamdani's, meaning it's coming from people with a lot more money to spend. But that's not the freakout money. The freakout money isn't out in the open like this. It's in the new super PACs that keep popping up as the rich scramble for ways to shoot Mamdani down. You probably know this already, but super PACs are groups that can legally spend unlimited amounts of money on elections as long as they're not making direct contributions to a candidate and they aren't explicitly coordinating with the campaign.
Super PACs are a disaster. They're a scam. They cause dishonesty, and you better get rid of them.
We all know how much money he gets from super PACs. By the way, yeah, this is what I'm worried about, folks. Like I study this and stuff. The elites over time have attempted to secure their control over the system using their money. Okay, and if they see that power slipping away, they're likely to get desperate. And by the way, I'm all for it. I'm just saying, I'm worried what they'll turn to next if they feel that their money is no longer working. Okay, we already kind of see it with Trump. Fascism is typically when the elites turns toward violence and nationalism and things like that when they feel their power slipping away from controlling the working class. But it's I don't know. It's just interesting. It'll be interesting to see what happens. Okay. Anyone remember, Jay Shout, anyone remember when the former Ohio governor admitted to breaking campaign finance laws by coordinating with a super PAC and no one batted an eye? Yep. 100%. We live in Ohio, so yep. Okay.
The reason super PACs can spend unlimited money is because they can get unlimited money in donations, including from completely anonymous donors like 501c4s and 501c6s, what you might have heard called dark money nonprofits. These amounts aren't limited the way campaign donations are, with caps on individual donations and spending, which is why when you look at what a candidate gets, you see a lot of $2,100 donations. But when you look at what their super PAC gets, suddenly it's a wall of multi-million-dollar receipts. And that's a different scale. For the primary alone, for example, Cuomo spent $22 million through his super PAC to fix the city. This is an insane amount of money to have spent and still lose, but he's not done. And they're up to $27 million as of writing.
Yeah,
just to give you an idea,
I agree.
In the 2021 election, the most a super PAC had spent on the primary was $6.5 million. Already you have an idea of just how scared the rich are. The thing is, Fix the City is just one player in a sea of new PACs that are all attacking from different angles and courting the same donors. Take a random one. This guy, Jeffrey Gurl, a real estate investor. If you look at his donation record, you can see he gave Cuomo like a couple $100. Nothing crazy. That is, until you look at his donations to super PACs. This one guy gave $25,000 to Cuomo's PAC in the spring, and then another $25,000 to Adams in the fall. That's just one guy, and $25,000.
Shadow, it does. I saw the Pee Wee, Stephen Miller,
like
Pee Wee German.
$8 million from Michael Bloomberg alone, another $1 million from DoorDash, and then just pages of $500K to $50K, $100K donations. Let's zoom back out. Right now, there's at least 7 big super PACs on the anti-Mamdani train. For Cuomo, we've mentioned them already.
Yeah.
You have
like
Fix
organizations
the City,
from out of state.
Yeah. Like, and also, how do they know they're not coming from overseas even?
Yeah.
Like, what if there's a foreign government funding them? I mean, there is through APAC, but anyway, but there's like, yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous. There's actually, who was it that said that capitalism and democracy are incompatible in the long term because as a concentration of wealth yields concentration of power? I think that was Noam Chomsky.
It sounds like something.
Yeah.
So Local Economies Forward NY, which is basically just DoorDash's separate PAC, and Housing for All, a super PAC that's just for landlords.
I'm kind of ignorant.
Before he dropped out, Adams had Empower NYC and Protect the Protectors. Both of them are expected to have raised millions. Empower specifically has said they're hoping for 15. And then on top of that, there's the general anti-Zoran super PACs not affiliated with a single candidate, like Affordable New York, which is Airbnb's super PAC, and New Yorkers for a Better Future, who said they'll spend an extra $20 million against Zoran and are already raking in $500,000 donation pledges. I'm explaining campaign donations to Americans right now, and literally the rich guy is called Mr. Burger. I want to kill myself.
Yeah, Luke, it was.
But don't worry, hey, Mamdani has his own super PACs too. One has yet to report raising any funds, and the other has gotten a whole $700K since the primary. Not rigged at all. It's bad, but at the end of the day, I don't actually think that all this anti-Zoran money is going to be enough. He's popular. His policies are popular, and that shouldn't be surprising. The most popular politicians in the country are socialists. I don't think he's got this in the bag, but it's not like this money's doing much. And that is scary in a different way. If Cuomo loses at the polls, after the rich threw everything they could at the wall, he could go for the nuclear option.
Zoran Mandami, who in his nomination speech said he will defy ICE.
And folks, remember what the United States has done historically to socialists, not only within the United States, but abroad. Okay. And not only that, remember the imperial boomerang theory. What your empire does elsewhere will typically, exactly, J-Mac, will come back around and come back to the mainland. So what is used elsewhere will eventually be used here. I am not saying that, like, I'm worried about it. I'm not saying for sure that there'll be violence done against him, but they will definitely, I'm worried they'll pull out any stop they can up to and including that. I can't be sure. It's just something I'm worried about in regards to him. I just hope he's safe. Okay. I just hope there's safety there.
And will not allow ICE to arrest criminal aliens in New York City. Your message to communist Zoran Mandami.
Well, then we'll have to arrest him. Look, we don't need a communist in this country, but if we have one, I'm going to be watching over him very carefully on behalf of the nation.
All semblance of democracy is gone anyway. Trump said he'd get involved in the race if it looks like Mamdani will win. He's already threatened to arrest, deport, and denaturalize him. He wanted Cuomo.
And that's the thing too, J-Mac. You're right. J-Mac says it wouldn't even have to be a rich person. It could be a deranged white winger. And J-Mac, that is stochastic terrorism, right? Where the right wing and stuff keeps using language to demonize him to the point that eventually some lunatic right winger with all the guns in this country will take it literally and will do violence against him. So they can keep their J-Mac, like they can keep their hands clean while prompting violence against him.
Or Adams. Either. I don't think he cares. Luke. They're both getting money from his donors anyway. He personally stepped in to get Adams cleared of federal corruption charges and is taking calls with Cuomo, who he's had a long-standing relationship with for decades. They're tight. While neither of them wanted his endorsement in a city of Democrats, they both get that this is a transactional relationship. They're representing the people scared of Zoran and telling Trump what he wants to hear to get rid of him. That they want to work together, and they wouldn't really get in the way of ICE taking over the city. They're not saying that to us, of course. Voters are getting a sense, but at business meetings and in these private calls, they're making sure that Trump knows they won't put up a fight. With Adams gone, Cuomo is playing his part in the fascist takeover. Capitalists want to stay in power. They're spending like their life depends on it.
God,
and
right?
Until recently,
how many women do you think he has assaulted when he took just in that day?
Had two guys willing to let Trump run wild on a city of 3 million immigrants. That doesn't matter to them. It just means they keep their taxes low and city rents up.
Probably J-Mac. That might be a low estimate.
I don't know how this election will go. And I don't know if Zoran's going to be able to get all this great stuff, all these things that he's promised, done if he wins. I do know that there's still a strong candidate for head fascist lackey in the race. A guy who is more than ready to make New York yet another hellscape for immigrants, for working class people, and for everyone else whose rights are being stripped away. A guy cozying up to landlords and Wall Street and Trump, and ready to completely fold while more and more people are thrown in the back of a van and shipped off to some black site on the other side of the world. This is cheesy, but if you live in New York and you haven't voted early, make sure you get out there. Winning the primary was a great symbolic victory, but we are tired of settling for that. It's time for socialists to get shit done.
So, and he mentioned here, I really like that video. He mentioned the idea that, will he be able to get it done once he gets into office? Well, he could. He would have to use the bully pulpit, right? He would have to get out there in front of cameras and start calling out the corruption of other politicians, and then get the people behind him to pressure those politicians to agree to his policies. That would be a good way to do it. Will that cause some backlash? Yes, but he'll be very popular if he does that. That's what Trump excels at. And I'm not pro-Trump, but Trump's tactic has unfortunately been successful. He has successfully intimidated a lot of the Republicans into doing what he wants. And I feel if Zoran Mandani used the bully pulpit, that could be useful. Even a progressive president could do that. Like, imagine if Zoran got in front of a camera and was like, oh, by the way, this politician takes this much money and has this financial interest. Why are they voting against having a few socialized grocery stores? And then he tells his people, hey, you should call their office and tell them that you want them to vote for this. Not like violence, but like try to get the people on board by using the bully pulpit and putting pressure on the other politicians. All right, folks. Let me put my face back up here. So, Kate, what do you think about all that? Do you like that? Do you feel about that?
I feel dead inside.
Oh well, join the club, right?
And
Let's hope Mamdani wins, right? I feel like he's ahead right now.
Yes.
I also know like a lot of unions are supporting him. Like a ton of the unions in New York City are now supporting him.
Now I do think
Uh-huh.
some of them, if not a lot of them, if not all of them, also jumped on board late.
Yeah. But would you say that's probably because of their close relationship with the Democratic establishment?
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay. Yeah. Right. Okay. All right. So, folks,
He certainly jumped on board faster than Jeffries. So
oh my God, can you believe it? Yeah. Anyway, oh God, our Democratic leadership are a bunch of Anyway, all right, guys. Yeah, I know Ted Cruz does defend a man who called his wife a pig. He's a slug of a human being, like one of the most pathetic. What's the word? I don't know, plasmodial, protoplasmic invertebrates on the planet. Okay. Yeah, Sean O'Brien, you're right, in charge of the Teamsters. Yeah, Luke. And there's been some controversy with him. Yeah, no, seriously, Mauser. It's like at this point, why would you even endorse him? And it was such a milk toast endorsement too. It wasn't like, yeah, Zoran. I was like, okay, fine, I'm going to endorse Zoran, whatever. Yeah, exactly, Mauser. Overcooked spinach endorsement. We need new people in the Democratic Party.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we need it.
I mean, that just shows that the Democrats don't care about what their constituents think.
Of course.
Because he's obviously Mamdani is the popular choice. So if they actually care,
it's like,
if
do
they're
they want to
actually doing
win
their job,
It's
exactly.
Well, I don't understand. It's so dumb. Okay. But again, it's about the money. It's not about winning. It's not about what the people want, right? It's about what the corporate donors want.
Yeah. It's about their interests.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay, folks. So, right, J-Mac. Right, J-Mac. Okay. Okay. So, yeah, he is a spineless Canadian duck on cheese. Okay. All right. So, folks, I've been going now for a while, so I'm going to get off now. I will be coming back on later for Jester After Dark. That'll be between 7 p.m. And 8 p.m. Thank you very much, Kate, for coming on. I will try to have her on more in the future. I think she enjoyed herself. I can't really tell though.
I did, but our coup failed. But next time.
Yes.
Next time we will succeed.
Yeah, you'll have to succeed. You have to do better next time. We demand more Kate. Okay. So, wait, Mauser, forgive me. Oh, you sent that? You know what? Let me see real fast here. If you sent it me, I forgot about that. Let's watch it. Okay. Real fast. How long? Okay, it's only 9 minutes. Okay, fine, folks. We'll watch it. Okay, so guys, I'll do one last little reaction here. Okay, I for some reason I thought it'd be longer, Mauser, so we'll watch it, okay? We'll just do one last little thing here. Forgive me, Kate, one last little reaction, okay? And then let's watch Mamdani's response to okay, I totally forgot about this. So let's do this real fast, okay? Okay, so this is Mamdani's speech. Mamdani delivers tearful speech on Muslim faith and and slams Cuomo. Okay, I'm excited. All right.
After I'd announced I was running for state assembly, a well-meaning Muslim uncle pulled me aside. He smiled softly and looked at me with care. In a quiet voice, he told me I did not have to tell people I was Muslim. His eyes kind, his beard proud, and his face heavy with the implications of the unsaid. I had not learned the lesson that he had been taught time and again. It is the lesson that safety could only be found in the shadow.
Real fast, folks. In Meowzord's defense, I do normally stream for about 2.5 hours, and I think I'm a little under that, so it's no problem. I'm glad Meowzord reminded me about this video. But anyway, okay.
Of our city. That it is in those shadows alone where Muslims could embrace their full identities. And that if we were to emerge from those shadows, that it is in those shadows that we must leave our faith. These are lessons that so many Muslim New Yorkers have been taught again and again. And over these last few days, these lessons have become the closing messages of Andrew Cuomo, Curtis Sliwa, and Eric Adams. Yesterday, Andrew Cuomo laughed and agreed when a radio host said that I would cheer another 9/11.
Jesus Christ.
Yesterday, Eric Adams said that we can't let our city become Europe. He compared me to violent extremists. And he lied again and again when he said that our movement seeks to burn churches and destroy communities. The day before that, Curtis Sliwa slandered me from the debate stage when he claimed that I support global jihad. And every day,
Right.
Super PAC ads imply that I am a terrorist or mock the way I eat. Push polls that ask New Yorkers questions like whether they support invented proposals to make halal food mandatory, or political cartoons that represent my candidacy as an airplane hurtling towards the World Trade Center.
Christ.
But I do not want to use this moment to
Isn't that
speak
like
to them any
stochastic
further.
terrorism? Like,
Yes, and that's
I want to use
so
this moment to
gross
speak
to the people who, who
Oh, yeah.
you know,
who died on
who
that.
died and
Yeah.
are
And there-
continuing to suffer.
There were Muslim folks who died in 9/11
Gross.
who were in those, like, anyway,
the Muslims of New York City.
totally J-Mac.
I want to speak to the memory of my aunt.
Of course not, Luke, yeah. Aw.
Who stopped taking the subway after September
Yeah, outer
11th
signal.
because she did not feel safe in her hijab. I want to speak to the Muslim who works for our city. Whether they teach in our schools or walk the beat for the NYPD. New Yorkers who all make daily sacrifices for the city they call home, only to see their leaders spit in their face. I want to speak to every child who grows up here, marked as the other, who is randomly selected in a way that never quite feels random, who feels that they carry a stain that can never be cleaned. Growing up in the shadow of 9/11, I have known what it means to live with an undercurrent of suspicion in this city. I will always remember the disdain that I faced, the way that my name could immediately become Muhammad, and how I could return to my city only to be asked in a double-mirrored room at the airport if I had any plan on attacking it. And since I was very young, I've also known that I was spared the worst of it. I was never pressured to be an informant, like a classmate of mine. I've never had the word terrorist spray painted on my garage, as one of my staff had to endure. My mosque has never been set on fire. To be Muslim in New York is to expect indignity. But indignity does not make us distinct. There are many New Yorkers who face it. It is the tolerance of that indignity that does. Since I announced my candidacy for mayor 1 year ago yesterday, I have sought to be the candidate fighting for every single New Yorker, not simply the Muslim candidate. I've carried these indignities with me each moment of this race, doing so all the while as the first major Muslim candidate in the history of our city. I thought that if I could build a campaign of universality, I could define myself as the leader I aspire to be, one representing every New Yorker, no matter their skin color or religion, no matter where they were born. I thought that if I worked hard enough, it would allow me to be that leader. And I thought that if I behaved well enough or bit my tongue enough in the face of racist, baseless attacks, all while returning back to my central message. It would allow me to be more than just my faith. I was wrong. No amount of redirection is ever enough. In doing this, I have told the wide-eyed young child in Jackson Heights or the first-time voter in Parkchester that they too should remain in the shadows.
Real fast, folks. Like, even the scene that he has set here with all these Muslim folks in the background, like, how many politicians do this? Like, how often do you see in the background only Muslims, and almost all of them are black? Like, he's not like, I love it, right? Like, it's so humanizing. They're not like, a lot of times in the backdrop of one of these talks, you have, they select like white people, black people, Latino people,
To, like, represent.
yeah,
Yeah.
but he's not even doing that, which is great, right? He's standing firm with he visually standing firm with the community, like with the Muslim community. Anyway, it's just yeah.
In many ways, I have become that same uncle who pulled me aside 6 years ago. No more. The dream of every Muslim is simply be treated the same as any other New Yorker. And yet for too long, we have been told to ask for less than that and to be satisfied with whatever little we receive. No more. For as long as we have lived, we have known that no matter what anyone says, there are still certain forms of hate that are acceptable in this city.
Yeah.
Islamophobia is not seen as inexcusable. One can incite violence against our mosques and know that condemnation will never come. Elected officials in this city can sell T-shirts calling for my deportation without any fear of accountability. The consequences amidst this inaction are stark. More than 1 million Muslims in this city existing all while being made to feel as if we are guests in our own home. No more. We stand on the precipice of an election, but that is not what today is about. We know that in less than 2 weeks we will say goodbye to a disgraced former governor and our current indicted mayor. The bigger question is whether we are willing to say goodbye to something much larger than either of these two men. It is whether we are willing to say goodbye to anti-Muslim sentiment that has grown so endemic in our city that when we hear it, we know not whether the words were spoken by a Republican or a Democrat. We know only that it was spoken in the language of politics of this city. In an era of ever-diminishing bipartisanship, it seems that Islamophobia has emerged as one of the few areas of agreement. And while I appreciate all who have rushed to my defense over these past few days, I think of those Muslims in this city who do not have the luxury of being the Democratic nominee, who do not have the luxury of being deemed worthy of solidarity. While my opponents in this race have brought hatred to the forefront, this is just a glimpse of what so many have to endure every day across this city. And while it would be easy for us to say that this is not who we are as a city, we know the truth. This is who we have allowed ourselves to become. And a question lies before each of us. Will we continue to accept a narrow definition of what it means to be a New Yorker that makes smaller every day the number of those guaranteed a life of dignity? Will we remain in the shadows, or will we together step into the light? There are 12 days remaining until Election Day. I will be a Muslim man in New York City each of those 12 days and every day that follows after that. I will not change who I am, how I eat, or the faith that I am proud to call my own.
That's very
but there is
brave.
one thing
All
that I
those
will
people
change.
are brave.
I will no longer look for myself in the shadows. I will find myself in the light.
Aww.
Oh my God, a brilliant speech there. Really sad, but like in a good, like in a hopeful way. Ooh, okay. Yeah, you're right, Mielzard, about having empathy for the listeners. Absolutely. Right, guys. Yeah, I don't even know what to say to that. I feel like, I mean, I have nothing to add. He just, yeah, okay. I don't want to, he did a great job, obviously. Okay. I know, J-Mac, like that is so like 19th century, like racial science type stuff. Like, oh, look at him eating with his hands like he's an uncivilized person. Like it's so backwards. Anyway. Right. Like there's like almost like a right, Louise? Like we eat stuff with our hands all the time, but like it shouldn't have shocked me, but it did because it is such an old-fashioned kind of racism,
Yeah.
Like that idea of like, oh, well, they're barbaric. They
Yeah.
eat in this savage way. Yeah, exactly. And like, you most of the time racism these days is like more subtle than that, but like they're just coming out and saying it. They're just being like, yeah, like anyway, okay. Well, maybe I shouldn't say it's more subtle anymore, but anyway. Okay. All right. I'm gonna put put our faces back up here, folks. So, all right, guys. So, thank you again, Kate, for coming. I'm gonna get off now. Right, Meowzord, right? Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone who contributed. Thank you, Kate, for coming. We'll get Kate back on again soon. All right. So, okay. All right, folks. So I'm going to do my little sign off here. Remember, folks, I will be coming back on later between 7 p.m. and 8 p.m., somewhere around there, to do an After Dark stream. All right. Okay. You all know what I'm about to say. First of all, free Palestine. Free Palestine. Second of all, never stop resisting. The easiest way to resist is to think for yourselves. The easiest way to resist is to think for yourselves, and that includes when you watch me and Kate. We're not perfect. We make mistakes. See what other people are saying. Don't get caught in an information silo because the easiest way to resist is to think for yourselves. Thirdly, we're living in a fascist moment. We're living in a fascist moment in this country. Fascism thrives in an environment when people have lost faith in their democratic institutions. You can fix that with major reforms. We need major reforms in this country. You cannot stand in the center. If you stand in the center, the fascists will walk all over you like you're a slug. You will become like Ted Cruz. You will be like Ted Cruz if you stand in the center while the fascists are walking all over you, okay? All right. Lastly, on the wall behind me is a sword. The name of that sword is Chainbreaker. Chainbreaker is thought to have been responsible for the death of 7 slave owners. Why do I have it back there? I have it back there to remind everyone that our ancestors have made some major sacrifices for some of the things we have today, including putting their lives on the line for some of the rights we have, economic justices we have, civil rights, etc. We cannot let their sacrifice go to waste, folks. Please, please, please do not let their sacrifice go to waste. And always, always, always fight for a better future. And on that note, folks, you all have a good rest of your morning, evening, afternoon, night. Yes, day, wherever you may be in the world. I will come back on later between 7 p.m. and 8 p.m. Bye-bye, everyone.